All right.
Yippee.
Let's go TikTok and let's copy.
Live on YouTube.
Content updates. For some reason, it did not update on YouTube. Awesome.
Captain.
Captain liked the live Insta live.
Thank you.
And
Hello. Hey, Mooney.
there we
Hey,
go.
Sasuke and Lindsay. How y'all doing?
Officially live.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, oh boy,
Do
do
we
we have some announcements to make about what we've been up to. We've been working nice and hard. How are y'all? We are doing good. Hello? Hello? Test.
La la la.
Test.
Can y'all hear us? Fine.
We are doing good. I
feel
need to
like it's
make
been
sure I
such a long
talk into
time
the
since we
mic better.
streamed.
What?
I feel like it's been such a long time since we streamed for some reason.
Yeah.
Hello? What? Am I not coming through? Very good. There we
That's
go.
better.
That's better.
Test. Test.
Loud and clear. Awesome.
Whoa. Loud. There we go. Test. Test. All right. Hello. Finally getting over my migraine. How about us both? We're doing good. Hey, Loud, Captain, Mooney, Toonie, Dahlia, Pompu, Fico Riggs, Caleb, Fox,
Hey.
Jaru Boa, Rosie. I am excited to announce. Oh my gosh, chat. This is a real treat.
It is a real treat.
If you go over to our TikTok and you hit this little shopping bag, we officially have both of our books on TikTok Shop now.
You can finally get it on TikTok Shop.
Shipped by yours truly. And
Whoa, we also got a super chat.
wow.
Holy heck. Look.
and you'll get it delivered in a little baggie with our sticker on it.
Yeah.
Cute little stickers.
We got stickers too, chat.
Yes, we got stickers, but those aren't quite ready yet.
Yeah, they're not quite ready yet, but this is one of them.
And you will notice on TikTok Shop, if you go to specification, you can order a signed copy with a sketch inside of it. And I set that up as an option. So when people do that on TikTok Shop, if someone buys it live on stream, we can just sign it and do a little doodle in it for you live. And then that's the one that will be sent out. A lot of cool stuff we can do.
Yeah.
Honestly. And
Finally.
I kind of just explored a little bit, on that. So Dragging on Dragoon with a $10 super chat. I don't actually know why we didn't get
A little sound effect.
I don't know why we got a sound effect. For some reason that's kind of weird.
Yeah, especially for something so generous. Thank you, Dragoon. That's so sweet.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So anyways, today is an educational stream. We will be talking about
Bodies.
yes, anime characters, bodies, that sort of thing. I honestly feel like
Do you think Oh, we're getting stripies now.
maybe like that would be a little bit better. For some reason, it's just likes to fuss, dude.
Yeah, it does like to fuss. Yeah, we're doing good, Artemis.
We're doing good. Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about proportion and how it matches with the anime head and stuff. Funny enough, with proportion, it's all about like just making a few things correct, and then everything else can kind of be like modified. So we'll talk about proportions and stuff.
What was that, dude?
Was what? What inspired you to do this art thing? You mean like teaching art? I started teaching because I thought it was kind of fun to try and do as a teenager or as a young adult. And then afterwards, we just kind of continued on it because, like, teaching is an interesting skill to learn.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the TikTok.
Yeah, no worries. So, let's get started with some bodies. I think we can start off with some proportion and maybe some form, because those two hand in hand will make your bodies look really convincing and three-dimensional, and it will not make it feel flat. So you can have something that feels like you can hold it in your hands, and that's what we want, right?
Bro.
So we'll cover both male and female today. This slide will help a lot. I struggle with bodies. Heck yeah. I need to organize the desk again. So if you know how to draw cylinders and boxes, you're pretty much like halfway there. Now you just gotta make sure that they're the right length.
That looks radioactive. It's actually the next best thing. It is red 40 active.
Ooh. It looks like neon pink, like neon juice.
Okay, how is everybody doing tonight?
So I'll just draw the body really quick, and then I'll talk about proportions.
That's horrible, Artemis. You have the flu.
Oh no, I hate that. That sucks. So if you were to draw like both male and female bodies, their proportions are very similar, with just like a very, very few minor like physical shape changes. So let me just draw like a very simple stick man.
Does your book teach you about shapes?
Shapes.
Well, these are forms. So shapes are 2D, like square, rectangle, triangle. Forms are 3D, so like boxes, cylinders, cones. But our books do talk a lot about that. Like most things are broken down into like simple volumes.
Well, here's like an anatomy section for our book too.
Yeah, like the forms.
Yeah, the forms. Hold up.
Where's that in volume 1?
Yeah, let me go find it.
Should be towards. Yeah, so like building up simple volumes like this is really important.
Here's like proportional method for the torso, how to like construct it from the ground up. Here's arms. Here's the forms of the arms and different components. Here's another example on form for the arm.
Yeah, it's all simple forms being plugged in together, and then you kind of create transitions between them that turns it into objects and what they look like.
Yeah, here's a leg one as well. Proportion setup, form, and then adding some muscle. By the way, you guys can get this on TikTok Shop now, so you can go check it out. This book is called Anime Academy: How to Draw Manga.
Yep.
This is officially on our TikTok Shop now, so you can go get it there.
Yes, and there's also a version where you can get it signed and you can get a little doodle drawn inside of it.
Yep, exactly.
Wait, we should have like an example doodle sheet.
I thought we did have an example doodle one.
Like a sheet, an example doodle sheet.
Oh, okay. We would generally put it over here, but there'd be a doodle. There'd be a signature for both of us and a little doodle. So that would be in the TikTok Shop in variations and stuff like that. So yes, you can check both of these out on TikTok Shop.
Yeah, I don't want to get too distracted from the lesson.
Yes.
It feels like sometimes every 5 seconds we go on like a
I know
2-minute spiel about other stuff.
I know we do.
Focus. I am focused.
I was gonna draw like a body real quick, and I'll talk about the landmarks. I want to try to teach proportion a little bit differently. Let's start off with like a whole figure first, and look how like simple I'm drawing this figure. It's like a very advanced stick man, right? Just some lines, some simple shapes, not form yet, but just some shapes. And so let's break this body down real quick. So if you want your body to feel proportional, keep in mind of your elbow, your pelvis. Like this area right here has like a lot of like little common points. Where the bottom of the pelvis is also really important because it shows like the ratio of the body. So if I were to just draw a line down here, halfway of this body is going to be the pelvis. So like that's a really, really important mark. And if you know how to divide in halves, that makes it even easier, right? These should be about the same size. The upper body can be split into 3 equal parts. From head to the bottom of the neck is 1 unit. This to the bottom of the rib cage is another unit. And down here, from here to here is where the pelvis is. So the pelvis is about like half. A lot of halves and thirds. So like pretty simple. So the upper half is about in thirds, and then the lower half, divide this in half. Here's the bottom of your kneecaps.
By the way, we're not going to go super deep into this today. We're mostly going to be talking about like simple volumes.
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. I do find that when we get into this part will last a really, really long time, and we'll never get to the stuff we wanted
Well,
to
like
talk about
that's why
later.
I wanted to talk about like with the full body, and then just kind of mark those out first, just to see how much faster it is, because it does take some time.
Yeah.
So once you know this, upper thirds is you split the upper half into thirds, and then split this part into halves. You got the upper body and the lower body. Your elbow is basically around the end of your rib cage on this point, and then your wrist, the base of your wrist, is around the pelvis area, and then your hand is around the thighs. So if you memorize this and do this over and over, you'll be able to have proportional bodies. Now, if you like want to know how to do this with an anime body, the good news is this is pretty much all the same. You just change the head size. So here, I'm just gonna draw like a body without the head. I'm gonna keep in mind my rib cage and pelvis. These two are 2 units. And I'm going to estimate that this is going to be my lower body. Because if I take this measurement and just kind of move it down a bit, estimating that this is going to be where the legs are. So now all I have to do is decide how big do I want my head to be. Do I want it this big? Well, now we got an anime character, right? We got a kind of like an adolescent or like a young kid proportion. Or we can make it smaller and make it more adult. More of an adult proportion, smaller head. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? So once again, proportional method is really important, but the next thing is the form. I don't know how often you've been live, but sorry if I missed it. I've been busy a lot. No worries, Will. Like, you come in whenever you want. But I appreciate that you try to come in every stream. This is drawing for tall body? Not necessarily. This can be even for short people, because all you have to do is just take the same measurement and just say, hey.
It's proportional.
It's proportional.
It's all proportional.
Well, here's like a kid. Rib cage, pelvis, the legs. If I divided this, like, yeah, it'll be slightly different, but it will still feel like a kid, and
Well,
it's
it could
mainly
be the same.
It could be the same. Yeah,
I
it could
think your
be.
proportions are just off a little bit.
They are a little bit off.
But yeah,
I
you
do this really
usually
fast.
Just start with this, this measurement system, and then you make the head larger or smaller.
Yeah.
But the issue is, tall and short are relative.
Yeah.
Like, as like compared to what, right? Like, you could have, I don't know, a 2-meter person, but they would look very small compared to Shaq.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, they're short, but they're not, because, you know, they're standing next to someone who's very tall.
And this person can look very short next to this really tall guy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a relative thing. So it's your proportions aren't really going to change that much. The proportions within the body itself, right? Again, you are comparing the thing against other parts of the same thing. Like, you are like, there's person A. Person A has its own proportions. They have their head, they have their torso, they have their legs, their hands, their arms, and it is compared against itself. That is like the proportional part of it, right? And then it's like, if person A is this tall and you make their head larger, they seem younger.
Yeah.
In proportion to the rest of their body.
Here, let me just like split this into multiple examples. And I'm doing this wrong. 1 second. So I'm just gonna split this into maybe 2 or 3 versions, because it's just crazy how like it really doesn't change that much. It's just the ratios.
Yeah. No, I do not know why.
Why is it like being weird again?
Yeah. Maybe we do like that. That's a bit better.
Yeah. So I'm going to change the head size on this one. I'm going to say, okay, this is going to have a really, really big head.
Hey, Panda Bear, Mia, Will, Caddy. You make it look so simple.
Thank you.
Gabrielle, Jenna.
So like this person next to this person looks really odd. And I feel like it's because normally you would envision this proportional body to be taller, but instead it's this one that's taller. So if this one feels taller and it should feel a little bit shorter, then you can just...
No, it doesn't feel odd.
Now it doesn't feel odd anymore. It's all like context based. So like you can literally just like warp it however you want. And then this one, let's make this guy even smaller. That's a really, really tiny head. But now he looks a little bit weird next to all these guys. So I'm going to make this guy even taller and just see how it goes. Feels like it could make sense.
It feels better.
It feels better. Not saying like this is like pitch perfect or anything, but like
it's a good starting
it's a good starting point, exactly. So depending on the head size and the ratio of that with the body, you can really make different kinds of characters. But look, notice how all their hands are on the same area of the body. Notice the ratio of the torso to the pelvis, the upper torso to the pelvis. They're all basically the same, right? Their kneecaps did not move up or down, right? That stuff hasn't changed, that skeletal structure. So that's why you can like really just play around with it. I mean, there's like all about like character design and stuff, but we'll not talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about form next, but did you have something in mind?
Yeah, just next, since we have this proportional measurement, right? We've got the measurements of a basic mannequin. Now we need to start thinking about them in terms of 3D. Like, where are they coming and going in space, right? The volumes of their body.
Whew. Form lines are really important, like this. So what are these lines? Well, this is just like a description of a cylinder. If you have a cylinder that is moving up, you'll notice that curves move upward. Like we're looking at the bottom of the cylinder right here, right? And then kind of, if you're looking up at a cylinder, you're not going to see this curve like this. It just doesn't make much sense. So you want to make sure that this curve matches with this curve. This curve matches with that curve. So just keep it like logical. Same thing goes with a cylinder that's facing below, that you're looking down at. You see the top of this cylinder, and you see this facing downward. Here's a cylinder we're looking up at. Here's a cylinder that we're looking down at. Feels logical, right? But sometimes it's like it doesn't really click in the brain because the human body is so complex that it's just kind of like, well, what version, like what way is this turning? Because I see a bit of the top and a bit of the bottom. I don't know what to do. Just choose one direction and see if it works. So I can definitely make this character bend forward like this, but I don't really want that for this pose. So to me, it makes more sense to just add a form line that is facing up. And I actually quite like using cylinders for this, but you can definitely use boxes, whatever works.
It's like the volume that you use isn't really that important. Like people will ask, oh, do you use boxes? Do you use cylinders? Do you use spheres?
Which is better to use?
Like, which is better to use? It doesn't matter. What it is it's just a representation of the three-dimensional space. It's not your finished product. It's not exactly accurate. It is like, this is where I want to go with it. Right?
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to overthink. You could literally turn it into sheets of paper as well.
Yeah.
Like, you could turn it into boxes, you could turn it into cylinders, you could turn it into a noodle, you could turn it into a blob. A lot of character designers will use blobs.
So interesting, blobs.
Yeah. The what I did recently on stream. Let me
Thank you for the follows, guys.
Yes, thank you, appreciate it. Stuffed animals. So when I did these,
Thank you, Easy Arts.
where the heck is it? There it is. When I did these were like stuffed animals, right? So I started with blobs. I just started with like a blob shape. And the reason is because I wanted these designs to feel fun and have a fun shape and form language to them. So I would literally just start with like a blob like this, right? So I could go in here and just go like, all right, we're going to start with a fun shape, right?
Fun shape.
This could be the torso, and maybe this is the head.
But if you know the proportions, you know, like, oh yeah, torso and pelvis, like where that is relationship-wise.
Or you could go, okay, I'm going to start with a box here and a box here. Like, this is just a representation of three-dimensional space that I can then work on top of later, right? We could turn this into a cylinder. We could turn this into, I don't know, a cone.
Oh.
You know, we could turn it into a sphere. Like, it doesn't really matter what you start with. It's more like, what are you most comfortable with? What do you feel like gets you closest to where you want to be in the end? So if you're doing something like character design and stretching proportions, you might want to start with something like a blob and add perspective to it. If you're doing like the human body, you could do something else. Like, for example, on these pieces, I just started with boxes, right? Boxes, boxes, boxes.
Boxes, cylinders.
Boxes. Like, it could be a cylinder, it could be a box, it could be a sphere. It doesn't really matter, right? Because, again, in the end, you can start with whatever you want. It's a representation of space, and then it gets turned into whatever you want it to get turned into.
I'm trying to get to the Discord for the sketch pen, but I don't know how. You can get the brush also on our link in bio, drawanime.com. Just type this into your browser, and you'll be able to find the brush. It's the green button. It's a Google Drive link.
Good morning from India. Found your channel live while watching How to Draw Body. Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm very glad you found us. Yes. Digital brushes on our site. Also our Discord server, !brush in any channel. We'll get it to you.
Still don't understand perspective after many perspective grids. Am I doing something wrong? If we have time, we can probably talk about that. We'll see.
we could probably talk about that. It's not so much about the grid. Like, the grid is more of, again, just a representation of the three-dimensional space, right? It helps you make sure things are lined up and accurate, but like a grid is almost just a visual representation of the space that you're operating in. It's like, I don't know. It's like the inside of a 3D modeling program. You're like, that's far away. This is close. I can like feel the space. Because when you look at a blank page, a lot of the time it's really hard to like feel space there. A perspective grid helps a lot.
So now you can also decide what direction are my limbs going to be facing. My arms kind of look like I'm kind of looking at them slightly upward. Maybe this one slightly downward. And this is like all stuff that you can decide. But as you continue studying how to draw bodies and stuff, you'll be able to see the rotation and like what angle is this cylinder turning.
Rotation in the same pose is cool. It looks cool and it's extremely useful. You can draw a body using simple forms from a single reference photo, and then you rotate it in your mind, or rather, not even in your mind, you just rotate it on the canvas. And it's a good exercise.
Yeah.
Like, really good exercise.
It is a really good exercise. I think one of my favorite ways to simplify the torso, especially for women, is a cylinder that's like a little bit bowed out. Like this. And then you just like chop. And you kind of get like an underwear shape of some sort. And then this space right here, you can use it to connect to the leg, because this is like the glute area. So like I find that if I'm drawing like female characters, I will use this form. But for male characters, I tend to use boxier forms because they're a little bit more contained and they don't flare out. So I find that sometimes depending on the gender, I'll kind of change the form a little bit. But once again, it's because it's so what's it called?
I don't know why that posted that video again.
Huh.
There. It's probably because we posted our book on TikTok Shop.
Oh, okay.
But
It can just be so
I
varied.
didn't mean to post that. It
Oh.
auto-posted it.
Interesting.
There we go. Thank you for letting me know that post was muted. It wasn't
Yes,
actually
thank you.
supposed to go up.
Another way that you can kind of connect the limbs is like using other forms to kind of like show the joint. So for me, shoulders, I like to use a sphere. And then right underneath of that, I like to use a cylinder. Same thing with the leg joints right here, right underneath this pelvis area. This is like kind of symbolic of your ball joint or your femur. And then right below that, you can use like a cylinder.
Again, people get very wrapped up over like, what exactly do I do for the leg joint? Like, I can tell you what I did for the leg joint, and it's not what Christina is doing here. All I did was a box and a cylinder right here. Again, it's a starting point, right? It doesn't have to be your finishing point. Hers is totally fine. Mine is totally fine. It doesn't really matter. Like, and another one right here. I didn't even use a cylinder at all for the legs. I actually simplified the legs together as a single box. Why? Just because it helps me visualize the form. These could have been a cylinder. These could have been a box. So, like, don't get too wrapped up on what exactly should I use for the legs.
Or what's the best form to use.
What's the best XYZ to whatever.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry too much about that. Like,
That just means more procrastination sometimes.
a lot of the time it is like a form of focusing on details rather than like general, you know, general stuff going on.
Let me see here. Out of curiosity, how much does the live classes cost?
How much do the live classes cost? 500.
500.
Unless you have Anime Art School. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, do you have Anime Art School?
If you have Anime Art School, then
It's $100 off.
yeah. By the way, we are
I
holding
think
in.
you do have Anime Art School, don't you? Geo Rig. Yeah.
We do have a 20% off on our Anime Art School. The code LOVE. So you can check that out too.
And they do start on the 21st. Coming up in like 2 Saturdays, I think.
Yeah.
The Saturday after this one. So if you do want to join the live class, I will, and you already have Anime Art School, I'll send you a
Coupon.
One thing that feels hard to draw, at least for me, is the background and merging the character in. I totally know what you mean.
I know. Like, you're trying to make it feel like it's in the space.
Okay. Are you planning on signing up for the live class?
Ooh, we're getting a new student.
If you want to send me a DM.
Sorry, I had to get a bug on you. Is it 500 in something US dollars? US.
Yeah, there's information on our drawanime.com. Specifically the live class coming up in a couple of weeks. This is the link to that class right here.
Oh yeah, no worries, Jurig. Thank you for your support.
All good? Yeah. Yeah, if you want to shoot me a DM, I can send you a coupon code for whenever you get it if you do.
Tips on getting back into digital art. I've been doing traditional for so long.
Just yeet yourself.
Yeah,
honestly.
you don't really need any tips. Just
mileage.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the best tip, in my opinion, is just jump in fearlessly and keep your expectations at zero. Just have fun with it.
yeah.
No expectations, just pure fun. Draw a lot and experiment. Like there's no failing in that situation. There's just trying stuff.
Trying different textured screen protectors if you want.
Do one with cones. Could definitely do one with cones. It's probably not the form that I would use, but
I would probably, I don't know. I never used cones and bodies before. It'd be an interesting challenge.
I mean, you use chibis are cones.
Okay, well, yeah, that's true,
Star
actually.
chibi?
Oh, someone was asking about the chibi class. Do I need any experience in drawing before the chibi art class? No, you don't.
I don't know. She
I-
built it, so
I
if
don't.
she
I don't
says
think
no,
you do.
it's no.
I basically take you straight from the first line. I mean, like I do everything basically step by step so that you can follow along. But no, you don't need any drawing experience. Your drawing experience always starts when you start drawing. So, yeah.
I don't know. Like if I'm gonna draw like a body using cones or something, it'd probably be like maybe like this. How would I simplify this one? Maybe like
Maybe a larger cone. Yeah, I guess that works. And then, oh, you're doing more complicated than I thought.
I don't know.
When did y'all start the anime art school?
Start?
Like, when did we start making it? Or can you specify a little bit?
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I don't know. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
There's that. This is how I would draw a body. I don't know exactly how long.
Well, we streamed for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost been 2 years.
Like this is how I would basically draw a body.
It's definitely an interesting form.
Yeah. I don't know how I would do this. Like, I'm not really paying that much attention to my
Your proportions.
proportion.
It kind of looks like a mech.
Yeah, it kind of does. Well, let's fix this, right? So it's like another cone, almost a triangle into like this. And then maybe that's a cylinder, ain't it? I'll go like this. We'll make this like a true cone. I hope you count this as a cone because I do.
It's basically a cone that's chopped off. The tip is chopped off.
Yeah. Like that.
In your experience with students, how long does it take to unlearn bad habits? What are some common pitfalls you see that are hardest to get over for non-beginners?
It's a good question.
That's a good question.
Unlearn bad habits. I mean, I feel like a lot of the time, people's natural tendencies are the things that you have to unlearn. Like a lot of the time, like people naturally draw pretty stiff. They naturally draw without like flow to their work. So it's like, if you could consider that a bad habit, it's not something that people like build, right? It's not strictly like a habit that people build, but it is something that people naturally do. So like almost all of drawing is just untraining people to draw stiff, right? Like almost all of your learning is just like, how do I draw less stiff? How do I draw more interesting shapes?
Mm-hmm. Good night, Lau.
I mean,
that's
like,
not the usual Lau. We actually have
like
another Lau.
like that.
Yeah. But I find that like if you want to go from something like this to something like this, you would need to really understand the form and the nuances.
Is that a mouse? No,
We got a loud twin.
It's an Intuos large.
I know you focus on manga style drawing, but do you ever explore with manhwa or manhwa, or whether they both kind of sound the same, style drawing? I don't. There's sometimes like with guys, for example, I'll be more influenced by like Korean like manhwa styles because they draw them very attractively. But I don't necessarily primarily focus on that. But if I were to, it would just require some studying. So if you know the fundamentals and there are similar traits, you can like switch between them pretty good. You have to understand the anatomy basically. I would say anatomy. So like here's like the glossary, right? The terms. Anatomy is the muscles, the muscle details.
Like anatomy is like technical information.
Yeah,
about the
technical.
Body, but I ain't writing all that.
Yeah, technical. I'll just say in parentheses.
At least how you would learn in an anatomy class. Like
Yeah.
Your definition may be different, but if you're gonna take classes or buy books, an anatomy book would teach technical information about the body.
Yeah.
Like, this is the deltoid. It has 3 heads. It goes from here. It connects from there. It connects to this part of the humerus. It has this specific form and striations.
Yeah.
So if you buy an anatomy book like Morpho or something that is called anatomy, it's generally going to teach like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Now, figure drawing is basically how to construct. Like, yes, they kind of share similar things. Like, yes, for figure drawing, you would need to know a little bit, some basic stuff of anatomy, but like not to the point where it's like super scientific. But a lot of it would be more like, how do you just draw the body? How do you construct the body for the likeness or for the type that you want? Because not every figure drawing will have a lot of anatomy, but not every anatomy will look like a figure drawing. But they kind of share a similar like skill set.
Like, muscle and bone structure is not very important for drawing good-looking characters.
Yeah.
A lot of people like initially think that it is. It's part of it, but it's not a really important part of it. Understanding stuff like gesture and main volumes and posing and proportion, like that is like 80-90% of drawing a good looking character. The anatomy part is usually kind of like a cherry on top. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you see a little bit of the deltoid here, or oh, you see a little bit of the whatever here, right? If you're drawing like nude figures, it's a little bit more because you have to show everything. If
Yeah.
you're drawing clothed figures, many times it's almost none of it. Like,
Yeah,
I
you'll
mean,
just see this, and then you just wrap clothes on top.
Yeah, I mean, it even depends how clothed the figures are, right? Like, if their arms sticking out, you may just see like, oh, here's the bicep, here's the radiobrachialis, and you know, maybe like the flexors, a little bit of the flexors. There's like 3 muscles out of an entire figure that you only need to like kind of show.
Yeah. But like you don't need to know the you don't need to have superior knowledge of this in order to do this.
And so a lot of people are afraid to start because they think they need to tackle the complexity of the entire human body before they start drawing figures, and then they'll dive into an anatomy book and they'll be like, all right, here starts my 6-month journey. Let's go. You know, and while anatomy is not unimportant, it's not what makes a figure look good. Like, you don't look at someone and go, that's a bundle of muscles. Maybe the quirky person in chat goes, I do that. But the average person, if you see them, you're not going, that's a bundle of muscles. It's like, it's a clothed figure, right? Or hopefully they're clothed. I mean, depending on where you're going, I guess.
But the gentleman's mic
my
is
microphone quiet now?
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello. Well, I guess mine's fine. But
Test.
I think when I drew this body right here, I didn't necessarily think anatomy. I thought, how much what kind of body type is this?
Yeah.
And what form is this kind of body type?
Like, you want to know what you'd see for the anatomy?
That. Yep. And of course, like, it always helps to do some anatomy studies, but like in order to find where those locations are. But
you know,
yeah,
there's
exactly.
the anatomy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is like,
drew it so well.
It's built on an understanding of what's under there, right? Rib cage, center of the abdominal muscles, edge of the abdominal muscles. But what I didn't talk about was the fact that this line is pushed really forward because the body
turns,
bows out, right? It's like it bulges out a little bit. It's not the center of a box. It's like the center of a bulged box.
Let me see here. How do I do this?
And again, it's not that anatomy is not important at all. It's just you have this very large amount of people who are just getting started who think that they need to memorize all of the muscles in order to draw good-looking characters. You take any figure drawing class, you talk to any professional high-level character artist, they're just like, oh yeah, I mean, anatomy is like, you know some of it, but it's mostly figure drawing. It's mostly designing poses and costuming and, you know, that kind of stuff. Like simple volumes, simple information.
Yeah. Like the center line of the abdominal area isn't a straight line like this, but rather it's a dip. Well, at least for women. Kind of goes like a little wave. And the reason is because the abs, there's like a fat pad underneath here for the crotch. So like that's why it bows out a bit more. So that's why you get this line. Right. So this get out of here. This is that. It's just this one's more subtle.
Yeah, Gabriel, actually, I think we should probably get to that.
Yeah.
Can you please show how to attach the limbs to the torso? That would be perfect.
Yes, that would be perfect.
And Adam said something really interesting. Realized this being true about anatomy, being true about anatomy not as important, at least for stylized art. Anatomy is mainly proportions and some muscle insertion rules as opposed to knowing some muscle in the forearm. We took a class by Ramon Hurtado, and it's the same with something like perspective. Your mission is not to be true to the anatomy, right? Our mission is not to be, is this perfectly 100% connect, right? It's like our, what did he call it? Our duty. Your duty is not to the anatomy. Your duty is to the message that you're trying to get across, right? Your duty is not to perspective. It's to the story. Everything should be working towards the greater goal of getting your idea across. It's like for this, it's like anatomy for the sake of anatomy, right? Or perspective for the sake of perspective. If you're someone who wants to be a storyteller, or if you want to make convincing characters, we have to allow anatomy, perspective to take a back seat to the message of the image. And you'll have people who are like really hardcore about 100% being accurate with the anatomy. And I think that there's a time and place when you're taking a figure drawing class or a perspective class where you can be pretty focused on accuracy because you're trying to learn. But it's like the goal is not perspective for the sake of perspective. It's like the goal is perspective for the sake of communicating your idea. Or the goal is anatomy for the sake of communicating your idea. And over time, as you get better and you learn the muscles and you learn the proportions, you grow a sensitivity to, am I fussing over the anatomy too much? Is it getting in the way of what I'm trying to say as a storyteller or as an image creator? Because I'll tell you right now, at least when we do concept art or illustration, your goal is not to make perspective purpose. Like, your goal is to make a sick design that helps the next person down the line. If you're a concept artist, or if you're an illustrator, it's like your goal is to make the customer think this is an awesome image and want to buy your game, right?
Yeah.
Or want to buy the book. Like, if it's a book cover, right, an illustration, it's like, is this a sick, whatever, space marine, whatever, slicing an alien in half? It's like, is the anatomy perfect in every way? Doesn't really matter. In that case, in a lot of cases. So it depends on what your goal is. In most cases, people's goals are to the message, to the story.
Yeah.
There's my yap.
Yes. Fantastic yap. So I kind of just realized this. Sometimes if your arm looks like this and it doesn't look like it's actually attached to the body, there's a few reasons why. Arms overlap. The chest area, like your pecs, your chest muscles actually like overlap with the arm. So this looks like an arm that's just like has no connection. There's like just no joint, and it's just like a separate shape just tacked onto this side of the torso here. So that's why you get this like really weird angle. So we don't want to do that. Not only that, but it also flattens the body and it makes it just look really disconnected. So one way that you can blend it a little bit better is literally adding the pec, which is the curve, and literally like blending, meshing those together. Now obviously this doesn't really, it still looks kind of broken, but it's because it's also too far apart. You actually want to move this a little bit closer and a little bit lower. Right, the muscles serve to kind of blend these forms together. It's kind of like a binder. So when you look at a shoulder that's like this, for example, I like to use spheres for the shoulder because it's just the easier simplification. And then here's my arm.
How do you get the lines to look like sketches? I think it's just a natural thing that happens.
Yeah, like, I don't know. If you don't think too hard, it will kind of be a sketch, I guess. Like, if you use slow lines.
I don't really know what defines something looking like a sketch other than it just not being finished.
Yeah, that's I think that's basically what it is. Sketches is that. Something that isn't refined but has an idea that feels more like a sketch. So here's your arm, here's your torso, but like, how am I going to connect this? Pec. That curve blends into the deltoid. And now it feels more connected. And then this travels over around the torso. Here's another one here. The clavicle also does a good part in connecting these forms together. So if you don't know where the clavicle is, it's basically the pit of your neck, and it stretches down, or it depends on the angle, but it's like a little bicycle handle, like this. And right after that comes the shoulder. So like right at the edge of your clavicle, you got the shoulder joint, and this kind of cuts into the body a little bit. That's just because there's like a socket, right? There's like literally a socket there. So sometimes what I like to do as well is I'll draw the torso.
So are you teaching anatomy now?
No. I'm just teaching like how to connect the limbs to the torso.
Omni with MX20. I don't know what MX is, unfortunately, but thank you so much. Really appreciate it. How would you do it with contour lines only? Yeah, can we get some W's in the chat for Omni
Contour lines
something?
only.
Omni Man 8647. With contour lines only? You mean like
just the outside line like this? Something like that? I don't know.
oh, Mexican money.
Oh,
Pesos. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank
I gotta
you.
go to the bathroom really
do it. So another way that I like to connect the form is I will treat this like a socket. I will draw the torso without the arm. Here's the hole that the arm will fit into, and then the arm, like the shoulder area, kind of looks like this. It's like a ball jointed doll. It looks like a little AirPod. And so that fits in here, and all you'll really see really soon after is the actual shoulder. And then here's the armpit. You see that same form is just pressed in there. And of course you can like rotate it out like this. And then this part right here, it's not a straight line, but rather curves a little bit, because this is also, there's also a little bit of back muscle right here. Here's the pec. Once again, blending those forms together, the chest to the arm. And now it feels like it's part of the body, right? So hopefully that this is helping. Legs, leg-wise, I kind of treat it the same way. Here's your like pelvis. Here's the underwear shape. This right here is a hole that you need to fill in with the rest of the leg. If you're doing this from a box, here's the underwear shape again, here with the 3-finger gap. Your legs come out from this 3-finger gap, so not up here, but down here. That's why, like, when you lift up your legs, you'll notice that gap, and especially when you put your hands on your hips, like right here, it comes out from this part. So don't draw the legs. Don't draw the legs up here, because that's not where it goes. It goes a little bit lower than that. And it's a cylinder. And so this side is not too bad, but then what happens here? This part right here kind of fills in the gap of like the glute area and also like the joint. So what I'll do is I'll just like I'll add in my cylinder, but it's going to be much thicker and bowed out for the glutes. Here's a cylinder. Here's where the cylinder starts. This part right here is the connective area to the pelvis. For the female, it's very similar. It's just you push out wider because of the hips. Here's the femur, comes out from the pelvis a little bit, and then this is a very simple curve like that. So that's how I would connect it. That's how I find that it's easiest for me to connect the limbs. Of course, if you have any like other better ways, I would love to know, because it is kind of hard, honestly. If you're going to start from forms, here's the shoulder, here's the arm, and then all you have to do is just blend those forms together. Neck, traps, shoulder, armpit, and here you got your pecs. Do you have a YouTube video on this? Not on this particular, like how to connect this to the body, but I do have a video on how to draw bodies, the full body, male and female, from reference. It's on our YouTube channel. This is for free, yeah.
Best drawing sesh so far. Great content. How do you draw the pelvis from different angles? We're probably not going to get into the pelvis specifically. The thing about the pelvis is you don't really see it at all when you draw a person. So probably not going to get into it today, because today is going to be more about drawing basic characters and stuff. Well, actually, we're like off track a little bit right now too.
Aren't we?
So probably not going to get into the pelvis and stuff. I haven't studied the pelvis in depth that much. I'm not super familiar with all the intricate forms of it. So I probably wouldn't be the best place to go for that.
So yeah, I covered a bit on the connection of the limbs to the body. And then you just do it over and over. And sometimes if you find like a better way to do it other than how I'm doing it, that's totally fine as well. Figuring out like what side of the leg are you doing, how it arches up, that helps a lot as well. Let's see here. Are you going with the secret admirer thing? I have not started yet. I need to start soon.
Oh, you haven't started?
I haven't started mine yet.
I never signed up.
Nah, Cole never signed up.
Oh, yeah.
I also think of it like if you're doing like a 3D sculpt or sculpting in general, you have like these particular parts that you sculpt onto. Or you have particular parts of the body that you sculpt. And then in order to blend it together, you basically like add extra clay and then you smooth it or you blend it. This is like a horrible demonstration of it, but that's also something to think about as well. So were we going to talk about poses as well? Was that it?
Yeah. Posing, basic stuff. Like, I mean, someone asked earlier about like how you do a body made of cones, and I don't know. This is the best.
It's kind of cool, actually.
This is the best I got for
Look at
some
that.
sort of a body made of cones. You know.
By the way, chat, if you want, a fun book on how to draw anime and in manga style, and also learn about anatomy, you can get our books on TikTok shop. Anime Academy, how to draw manga, and how to draw characters. I love that. He looks like a little cone snowman.
There you go. There's your cone figure.
Are you able to visualize what you want to draw very well, seeing it in your mind beforehand? I mean, I have like a basic idea. So these are our books. And we have an anatomy section in book 1. So yeah. And then we also cover a little bit of anatomy in book 2.
Yes, it is on TikTok shop. TikTok shop. And you can get signed versions with a picture drawn in them as an option as well.
Yeah. Let me think. Oh, I just had a thought earlier about like poses and stuff, but I kind of forgot. I'm going to have to think back on it.
Nice, Gabriel.
I think that the more you draw and increase your visual library, the more you're able to imagine. So like if I want to draw a pose that's cutesy, I have a really good visual library of cute poses. So then like I can imagine it and be like, I can kind of reverse engineer it because I know the forms of the body and how that would be in that pose. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about body types really quick. This is where you can start changing the proportion a bit and just like start changing even the volumes. So like let's say if I want a really short torso but long legs. So my proportion will be this. And in order to make this look more interesting, maybe I will have a very thin upper torso and a very thick pelvis. So I will use this shape language for like the rest of my limbs. And this is where you can get like really, really cool body types. Here I'm going to go reference a little bit more on like the realistic proportion and say, okay, I want this and this to be more realistic. Here's going to be where my kneecaps are. And then I want this to be thin, but this to be thick.
It's fun.
It's kind of fun, but like, it still feels proportional because it's starting from a place of like logic.
Yeah, you can really modify the ratios between things.
And then instead of having arms like this, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go a bit more realistic again and say, logically, my hands will be here. But maybe I'm going to follow this same thick to thin and instead just change the form. So now my hands will be down here. So even though the torso may be drastically shorter, this still feels like a humanoid
And then maybe the hands
design.
on the end can be like really thick.
Yeah. Well, like painting and stocking, I guess.
Maybe so. But
Like,
like
this is a very popular.
that's how character designers do it. Like they take those proportional measurements and they tweak them proportionally. Like they create a logic to it. Like what Christina did. She's like, oh, I'm going to go thin to thick, thin to thick, thin to thick. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to make the legs larger, but I'm going to keep the places that make something feel like correct or kind of comfortable. I had a teacher in FZD. He would say the word comfortable. He's like, yeah, that feels comfortable.
I like that word comfortable a lot.
Would you say bad anatomy doesn't have a logic then? I mean, it depends on what you mean by bad anatomy. I would say maybe like
Incorrect. Like, let me think.
something that doesn't feel comfortable. I like that word, comfortable. It's like, do you mean like when you look at it, it just doesn't really feel like it's sitting in a way that's comfortable, like that sort of thing? It's generally a design thing, and design has like a logic behind it a lot of the time. So like, you know, this is a very very popular topic within like a character design community. Like what makes a comfortable design, what makes it feel like you know,
you can suspend your reality enough.
Yeah. And so I would say that. I mean, it's very similar with like color theory as well. It's like if the colors don't have a logic to them, they usually won't fit well together. Like bounce light being stronger than the light source. That's like a big one that a lot of people accidentally do that will kind of cook their value structure or cook their painting. It's like there isn't a logic to that, right? Even like a fantasy cartoon world, a lot of the time, a bounce light being stronger than the main light source is going to feel very awkward in any universe. But it's the same thing with like probably character proportions too. It's like if there's some kind of a logic. I would say it's probably more of a design thing than anything. Shape language, big, medium, and small, a gesture.
Yeah.
Like you can honestly get away with a lot more than you'd think.
I think if the muscle placement is like incorrect, like you don't really know what's going on inside. Like for instance, I know that my deltoid, just kind of using arms as an example. Let me just draw a really quick arm. If I don't see a general idea of this form, and it's like all like mishmash, and there's no logical sense to it, to me that will feel uncomfortable. Like if all of a sudden my like, I don't know, let me think. If all of a sudden my tricep was here, and my deltoid's down here, and my forearm is like, I don't know, someplace random with no sense of idea of what's going on, then it's like, yeah, that don't look correct enough. But you can argue for sure that you can have like a really thin arm with a small torso because maybe that's your species' anatomy. Like it's like Avatar from all the anatomy modifications that they had to make for Avatar, like the Way of Water or whatever. Like they had to think about the comparative anatomy. They had to think about their fins, but still mimic what we're used to. Like you can have a very small deltoid, but like at least it's in the right place, and maybe a very long forearms and all that stuff. That's totally fine. It just got to look familiar. Any tips on making poses less stiff, and also tips for drawing a hand that's being held?
Poses less stiff is a pretty good one.
Yeah, I like that.
Had even rewatched streams. We're live on YouTube. You can go to our channel and check out our VOD for this.
Let me think. Poses less stiff. Try to find the main idea of the pose, which generally is like the gesture, right? The gesture can be, okay, my body is mainly going this way, and let's say my arms are going this way. So there's like a main gesture with a counter shape in some way. The main gesture basically means that the body is going in this direction. So it's like think of this as like a necklace. Your torso is going in this direction. Your legs are going in this direction. Everything is kind of pulling towards this very unified S curve. And then you could say, okay, well, maybe my arms, instead of going the same gesture, I can say, well, I want this arm coming out, creating this line, and maybe this coming out here. And there we got a counter shape. And so that feels less stiff, mainly also because everything feels united, and also there's a lot of curves. More curves means less stiff, I guess. Generally, if you start thinking in terms of like being very symmetrical, which is not bad, but if your pose is symmetrical but you wanted it to be asymmetrical and lively, you are drawing it in the way that you don't want it to.
Well, symmetrical leads to stiffness. If you want something that's stiff, it can be used in that way. It's like about intention, right?
Yeah, it's about intention.
Kind of like what someone was asking about earlier with like anatomy, right? It's just like, is there no logic? Like, there's a lot of illustrations out there that use symmetry for stability. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of religious art or things that feel very official, right? Like maybe the illustration for like a bodybuilding gym or something. It could be like a very stable, symmetrical shape overall. Mm-hmm. But if you want something dynamic, because everybody's always obsessing like, gee, how do I make dynamic poses? Well, you're literally going to be very asymmetrical with your designs.
You know, it could be a lot of zigzags.
A lot of triangles. A lot of
movement.
Yeah, a lot of movement. Clear asymmetry, triangles, a very clear gesture.
And also picture like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing in the pose? Like, this is a very dynamic pose because there's a lot of asymmetry. Even if I am using some straight lines here, but like these lines are going somewhere that like speeds your eyesight. Let me think. It speeds the way you look at the drawing. So generally, slower curved lines make you look slower. Faster, sharper lines, straighter lines makes you look faster. So like you're basically trying to manipulate the vision, your viewers like way of seeing things, right? That's why people who are like really good at gesture drawing, they like just nail it so good. So like here, if I want you to slow down a bit, well, maybe I will add a curvature. But once again, my curvature has to go along the form and also go along the gesture. So like if my gesture is going this way and my form is going this way, you know, it matches. So this person could be dancing. I'm going to slow down the eye a little bit by adding some extra curves. But this side can be simple and faster. You know, this arm can be simple for speed. But this arm can slow down the eye a little bit because I want you to be like, oh, I want you to look at the curves. I want you to look at how her hand is to her face. And so it's all about like designing the experience. Why sketches look good and then bad when doing the line art?
Plussing.
Yeah.
There's a term in the industry called plussing, and it's basically like when you make a sketch, if you're going to finish that sketch and turn it into a line art, your line art needs to be doing more than your sketch is doing. Like maybe you're finishing up a design or you're clarifying information. You know, you're
resolving things or something.
Yeah, like I'm going to resolve this fold, or I'm going to... It's very common. Like a lot of people have this issue. Generation 1 drawings, which is like this, like a single drawing that has no like tiers to it or layers, generally have the most energy. Mm-hmm. It's hard to keep the energy from the beginning. But that's the term. It's called plussing. It's very like known. It's not you're not alone.
Yeah. How do you draw a muscular back?
I don't know if we're going to be getting into that today.
That's fine.
Oh, I was telling them.
Oh, okay.
It sounded like you were reading a comment.
Yeah, I was reading a comment. Why is it that they carry more energy? I mean, like I think mentality-wise.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of looseness in it. It's like the purest form of a drawing, maybe. I don't know exactly, but it's pretty common.
Yeah. Well, I think when you're just trying to get an idea down, you just want to like get it over quickly, and you're just focusing on the bare minimum without like all the details and stuff. So they do tend to be more lively. But like what a lot of artists will do is that they'll try to keep the first generation drawing as much as possible. They're just like continue to tweak and stuff. I also think it's like a mentality thing. Like if you're really, really scared, you tend to have very slow drawings. When I get stressed, my lines won't flow very well. I'll start like making really dumb mistakes, and then I'll also draw really slowly. So then things will just naturally look more stiff.
I don't necessarily think speed is what makes it look good. But
Yeah.
like if you're slowing down because you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
There's some people out there that draw really slow, but it's very confident.
that's very true.
I don't know. I'm trying to draw like some sort of robot
I think that's really, really cool.
thing. Cone. Here's like iteration 2 of cone person.
When you started, did you draw slower? Oh my gosh, I love that wiggly mouth. I don't know. I never really thought about drawing slower or faster. I just drew at the pace that I wanted to, which isn't very helpful, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, slower. But like even just speed, like I think it was slower, but the speed of correctness was a lot slower. Like it's like oh, there's a line. Whereas like now it's probably it's like a lot more confident and comfortable. You know, I don't really know what to add there. It's like it's more like decision making instead of like drawing a line and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted to draw. It's like more of exploration, right? Like, how do I want to draw an object from maybe this direction? Maybe not. Maybe I'll do it from like slightly higher. Maybe like this. You know what I mean? It's like rather than messing up, it's more like an exploration process.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is the front, right? And so we go.
Ooh. Do you have any tips for foreshortening extreme angles, especially when it comes to accurate placement? You would need to have a lot of prep work first. A lot of prerequisite knowledge of form drawing and perspective in order to do that. I don't think we'll cover it today, but we have talked about like fisheye perspective and stuff in other previous streams. So if you really want to go and search for that stuff, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. We put all our live streams there.
Yeah.
I want to know. I like it. Keep on doing that drawing. I like it.
Yeah.
I want to know how you can remember proportions. It's really hard for me, and my drawings always ended up shame.
A purely repetition.
It's all
do
repetition.
It's how you learn. It's how you understand words and stuff, or how to speak a language. It's just pure volume of the repetition. Like you do it enough times that it becomes instinct. You do it enough times that you don't even remember any other way. That's really it. You practice like writing a letter, right? The alphabet, and your teacher has you do it over and 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 over. And then every single time you write a word, you're using those letters. And if you don't draw them right, people won't know what the word says.
Yep.
Like, how do you speed up your typing? How do you type on a phone so fast? You send a lot of texts and messages and chat messages, you know? Like, it's always repetition. Repetition is how you speed, how you speed up, how you get more accurate.
I mean, like, what I'll do is I'll take a reference like this, and I'll be like, okay, my proportional method I still have to find those things. So, like, oh yeah, I know that my pelvis is on the halfway point of this figure. Even if it's like curved like this, I can still mark out my general proportions. I know that my upper torso is about 3 units tall. So I'm like, okay, split that, and I'll just show it real quick. But every figure drawing or every body that you draw, you're like, you know what to look for. And you just keep doing it. Even if it looks bad, like, it's not bad for it to look bad, because that's like the learning process, right? Even if you don't get it, it's gonna take a long time for you to get it. Just trust me on that. My proportions were way off even while I was learning them. I remember I was looking at my figure drawings from like when I first started taking figure drawing classes in 2019, and my proportions were like weird, even though I was like trying my hardest to get them right. But as you continue drawing it and applying it, you will get better at it. So like if I'm drawing this pose, I'm drawing this arch, and I'm splitting that arch in half. It may not be initially correct, but like that's okay. Just start somewhere. You got like, this is gonna be my upper body, this is gonna be my lower body. And then you're like, okay, my shoulders looks like it's here. My rib cage looks like it's here. I divided this into 3 parts. My head is about 2/3. Right? And so you're just doing this over and over and over and starting extremely simple. Right? You're not trying to draw the whole entire human body at once. You're just doing it one step at a time. And in anime art school, I have you do a lot of assignments just like this. Like every drawing that you do in the figure drawing class in anime art school, you are constantly doing proportional measurements. Like I guarantee you that if you do those assignments, you will memorize the proportions. Like that's just what naturally will happen.
Yeah. The fact that you're messaging us right now proves that, because if you can learn a language, you can learn proportions, because it's just you learn it through repetition.
Mm-hmm. But like art is hard, so just like keep in mind that it just takes a long time to learn. It's not like something that you can learn within like 6 weeks. You can get better at it if you keep applying at it, but it's not like you're gonna become a master or anything like that. It just takes a long time. Your brain has to adjust and make sure it's convincing enough. And for someone, for us, we're very visual creatures, and we know when something looks off, but our hands can't do that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So like here's proportion. You know, does this look a little bit off? Yeah, maybe a bit. I think like maybe this leg looks a bit too short. But like I made my guess, so this is where I can lengthen it a little bit and just check. And I'm keeping everything very simple so that I don't have to like make extreme changes later on. This is like very, very low risk. Good night, Artemis. And bye, Will. Let's see, here's the head. You know, here, this center line doesn't really match up with the torso anymore, so I'm gonna have to like move this over. Because in this reference, I actually kind of see a very clear center line. Here's a zipper. The zipper shows the center, and it's like twisting a bit. So like I'm mimicking that. And this is how I would study figures. Forms, showing what the perspective of the arm is, perspective of the torso. It's like every step you're like applying different knowledge. But I think the first step, which is always the proportions, is basically like a not hit or miss, but it's a very important step that if you get wrong, like extremely wrong on the first time, your drawing's cooked. But like that's not a bad thing. It's like that's always a learning process, right? Form. And for me, I sometimes like to add a bit of gesture in this point, like the curvature of the leg here. Curvature of the leg, just kind of showing the movement. And every pose that you're doing also has movement inherently. It's not like super stiff. So like, here's the gesture. Head goes along in this direction. This gets thick and thinner. This goes from thick to thin, which creates movement. The arm, these arms have a specific movement to the pose here. And so there's like a very simple figure. And sometimes that's all you really need to go, because you already have your form for the most part. You got your proportions, and then you can like continue refining from here. But like I can take this pose and change the proportions and body type, whatever, and it'd be fine. Is using reference okay? Absolutely. Absolutely fine to use reference. It also depends on what do you mean by using reference. Because some people can think like, oh, well, using reference means completely copying it one-to-one. Which, I mean, like it's like...
somebody else's image or something.
Yeah, like somebody else's image, which... And if you post it, that's not really a good thing. But if you're like, hey, I want to do a study, and I want to reference this artist, and I want to reverse engineer their...
Or using reference like you're using
Yeah,
for
exactly.
the drawing.
Like using reference like, oh, I want to draw this pose, and so I'm going to use this as reference and break it down. Totally fine. I think it's kind of a very, very high order to just say that every artist should draw from complete imagination.
That would be just silliness. Like how on earth would you draw something you've never seen before if you have to draw from imagination? Like if I told you to draw some really specific bird that you've never seen, like it would physically be impossible to draw it without having seen it or having a reference. You just like magically know what color it is or what the proportions are.
Yep. Now, if I'm gonna like turn this into like an anime character, I generally have a few kind of mental rules. For me, if I'm drawing a head that's this shape, this will immediately kind of like lock into or limit me as to like what kind of body types I want to draw. If I want to maintain this aesthetic, right? I've done this one show that we saw. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? They made a really funny character where the guy is like a really pretty man drawn like a young adult guy, super soft features, but his body is like completely bodybuilder and it's just goofy, but like that's the purpose, right?
Yeah,
that's totally
really
fine.
funny.
It's really funny. I love that show. It's so good. He just looks like this with a really crazy body.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It's so good. It's so funny. And like that's intentional. So like that's totally fine. But if I'm like, oh, I want to draw this character as like a petite girl, I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to make her like super toned. I have a specific idea already. So like that kind of already limits me. So if I'm drawing like a character like this, I will make sure that my shoulders are not too short like this, because that will result in a very small body. I will not make my shoulders super wide like this, because that will give her a man body. Tends to. So I kind of go, okay, I want it to definitely be a little bit wider than my head. Does this feel comfortable? And by adding tick marks like this, I can kind of visualize what body type this is going to give me. So like low risk, small decisions. Here's my shoulders.
Do you have any tips
Torso?
for exaggerating facial expressions? Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit after this.
And if I know my proportions, I can just build a figure from there. But anyways, you can continue.
I mean, if you wanted to build your figure, you could do that.
Oh, sure. I don't necessarily measure with head size. It's more of like this is just a benchmark. It's like it's a guide. So generally, if you're going like realistic proportion, your clavicle area is about 2 hand widths apart, like this. But with anime characters, it's heavily distorted. So in some ways, in some cases, yes, you can use your head as a guide, but it's not like a measuring tool exactly, because head sizes can change so much. But I noticed that my torso is like really, really short, which is totally fine. So I want to lengthen this a little bit. And this is where we can kind of expand a little bit. Does this feel correct? Does this feel right to you? You already know that your torso, your upper rib cage and your lower torso is going to be about 2 units. So you can make it really short, like this, 2 units, or you can make it longer. You can stretch it a little bit. But as long as it feels like it's a unified aesthetic of what you want to do, then just continue going. Just continue on. There's no like exact science for every single body type that you want to draw. It's like to taste, I guess. Like, does this have enough spice or does this have enough salt? Maybe not. So maybe add a little bit more. And then for me, I know that I will not make my legs extremely long. because it doesn't feel like it would fit the character. So instead, I'm like, okay, here's the length of my body. I'm going to move it down a little bit. This is probably going to be, this is like normally human body. Let me think. If this was a normal 8-headed figure, I still think that this will be a bit too long. So instead, I'm just going to shorten it. And I'm going to test. Here's where my feet are. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now I know where my kneecaps are. I just take this measurement here, divide that in half. Top of the leg to the bottom of the feet. Halfway is the kneecap. Bottom of the kneecap, I should say. And so you're just like constantly adjusting based on your preferences. So I'll just add a shirt. And then the magical thing that I could do is I can say, you know what? Maybe I don't want this head to be so big. I can make it a little bit smaller. And guess what? It will still work. Still works. Thank you. Thank you, Victor. Would you say the quickest way to get better at anatomy? What would you say is the quickest way to get better at proportions and anatomy as a beginner? How fast are you talking about? Because quickest could mean like for us. Well, actually, I have no idea. Let me think.
They didn't say a specific timeline. They said the quickest.
Yeah, because like quickest.
So relative to other things.
Relative to other things.
Probably take figure drawing classes is probably the quickest way.
Yeah, figure drawing class is great.
If I wanted to get better at anatomy and figure drawing as fast as possible, you would have to dedicate a lot of time to it. You would do a lot of exercises, and you'd probably want to find someone who is a professional to critique your work regularly. Mm-hmm. Probably a figure drawing class that gives a lot of homework.
We do have a figure drawing class.
Actually, yeah, funny enough, we do.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. We do have a figure drawing class coming up. But if you want to get better at bodies and anatomy and proportion, you want to learn a proportional method, do it a bunch of times, and then get critiques on that work, helping you improve.
Mm-hmm.
From Brazil, loving your drawings, helping me a lot with my questions. Awesome.
Thank you.
You can make pretty fast improvement. Like, improvement can be very fast. But fast improvement, a lot of the time, it's not like half an hour a day type deal. If you want to get good really, really, really fast, I mean, a lot of the schools that pump out professional artists in 4 years, you're doing like 12 plus hours every single day. Like, if you're going to a college and dedicating your entire life to it, you're doing lots of homework. It's more than a full-time job. I mean, you want to do art for a full-time job, but won't even put a full-time job's worth of practice in. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
It's gonna, like, you know what I mean? Like, it takes a while. Like, oh, I want to do art for a living. Okay, so what is a living? Maybe 8 hours a day? It's like, okay, so then if 8 hours a day is doing art for a living, there's students out there who are like, dang, I really want to do it. That would be like a minimum. Like, you treat it like what you want to do anyways. Mm-hmm. Not saying you have to do that, right? But it's like, if you want to do art for a living, people are like, oh, I'd love nothing better but to, you know, draw 8 hours a day and get paid to do it. So therefore, I'm going to practice 30 minutes every other day. That'll get me there.
It's like it needs,
think about it like
the
logically.
routine needs to match up with what your goals are.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just doing it for fun, like, then do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know,
like, you know, obviously, whatever time you have and want to put into it is totally fine. Mm-hmm. But when you say fastest, like, people will say fast. What's the fastest way to do this? And then when you say it, it's just like, that's crazy. It's like, what's the fastest a car has ever driven? You know, it's like, that's crazy. I only drive, you know, whatever, 70 miles an hour on the freeway. It's like, well, you said fastest.
Just saying, like, that's just sometimes the expectation of certain questions, you know?
So, like, if you want to know the fastest way to improve, I'm talking like I know people who have gone from complete beginner artists to getting hired at Blizzard in like 5 years. I can tell you what they did, how much time they put in. That's a lot. More than I would recommend for like a healthy life. Mm-hmm. What?
Is it, for example, possible to get above average in 3 to 5 months' time?
Again, it depends on what average means. Considering the average person doesn't even draw, probably. But averages compared to what?
Yeah, that's why we're always like, what do you mean? You know, because
it's hard to answer general questions.
I would say, like, if you draw like 30 minutes a day as a complete beginner, 3 to 5 months, you're still a beginner. Like, you're still like bad at drawing, which is not a bad thing once again. I just mean like you just don't know the fundamentals enough yet, or you don't have enough mileage.
Yeah.
Master anatomy in that amount of time? No.
Well,
sorry.
People can go their entire lives without being able to master anatomy, unfortunately. Like, again, it depends on what you consider mastering anatomy.
Yeah. That's true. That is
like,
very true.
Since everything is so relative, like what you might consider mastering anatomy, we might look at it and go, that person's a beginner.
Yeah. Do you mean like for our standards, or do you mean like for your standards?
But it's like, so I don't know your standards.
We don't know your standards. Like, for my standard, like, that would not be enough time.
Yeah, but art is such a dynamic thing as well. Like, you can't just say, oh, this person's mastered anatomy. Because it's like, what does that mean? Like, does it mean they know every single part of the body inside and out?
Yeah.
Like, where does it stop? Like, does it stop at, like, the things you can see, the things you can't see? Like, doctor level, someone who's been a physician for 45 years? Like, it's not really possible to answer the question, unfortunately.
In your opinion, what do you consider as an average artist, like moving past beginner territory?
I'm an average artist, I would say. Like, I consider my skill level like average.
Yeah.
Like,
average in like terms of the professional industry. Like,
I'm able to work professionally and make a living from it, and I don't struggle too much on jobs unless it's like specific. But again, I'm not average when it comes to certain skills. Like, I'm not average when it comes to creature design. I know very little about creature design. You know, I'm not average at, so it's like, again, it's not even really, it's so broad.
It is. The ceiling is so like, there's no exact linear. Yeah. Because it changes every time depending on the person and their idea.
Yeah. I hate to not be able to give a straight answer, but I would not be able to answer it in like good conscience.
Well, I think like we just want to give the best answer for ourselves, but it may not work for you either. So just kind of like heads up, you know.
Yeah. But again, what?
Yeah. Is there a method or thought process you go down when self-critiquing objectively? If you don't have a mentor to see your blind spots.
It's a hard one, but my buddy who, like I mentioned earlier, went from beginner to Blizzard character artist in 5 years. He was saying, overlaying. Basically, you can do a figure drawing study, and then you would basically superimpose the image over top of your drawing. It would be a way to self-critique when you're doing that. It wouldn't work for if you're changing the proportions and stuff, but like if you're trying to study something and understand it, usually having some sort of a benchmark or reference point that you can put side by side and directly compare and go like, what's the difference between mine and that one? I find it's very difficult to get good critiques without someone actually critiquing you, because you just don't know what you don't know. Like, you may be completely unaware of a technique or a process. It's like self-critiquing, like you're not, like you don't have like this other version of yourself that knows everything and has, 30 years of art experience that you can pull from. So it's very difficult. Like, people can do a lot on their own and you'll surprise yourself for sure. But also, like, you're not going to be able to pull extreme experience out of thin air to critique yourself.
Yeah.
How'd you start getting into character and concept design? Oh, you would definitely take figure drawing classes. You would take form language and shape language classes specifically for like character design. Definitely would do a lot of sketchbook drawing. Lots and lots of sketchbook drawing. Develop a visual library of what the world looks like and what kind of outfits and clothing people wear. Like, there's a lot of people want to become character artists, and so it's a pretty well-treaded path, a pretty well-traveled path to becoming a character artist. It's relatively straightforward. Put a ton of hours into it. Take classes on figure drawing, character design. You need your basics like perspective, form drawing, color theory, you know, proportion. You need to understand proportions. You would definitely want to take like design classes that will cover different exercises like how to draw the same character in different proportions. Like we did it a little while back on stream, but essentially you take the proportions of a character, you map them out, and then you shift and change around the relative proportions and maybe do the character 4 or 5 times. Let me look if I can find something on Dan's Instagram. He had something on there from a long time ago.
I love art, but it's not my career. Do you think the qualifications get harder by the decades?
I think they're different. They just change. Here's a really good example of the proportional changes that Dan, one of my friends, did a long time ago for Lupin the Third. Same character, changing the proportions like this.
Cool.
This is like an assignment that you would get in a character design class. You would take an existing character, you would draw it, and then you would modify and adjust the proportions, like thin body, long legs, small torso, right? Here's one with a large body and a small head. Like, you do this assignment and you'd get critiqued on it by like a professional character artist. That's a great assignment. In addition to taking things like costume drawing classes, figure drawing classes, because if you want to be a character designer, an understanding of form, perspective, anatomy is mandatory. It's like you want to be a writer, knowing the language is like a bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. And a language takes a long time to learn, especially because it's a visual language.
Yeah. It's a great assignment.
Yeah.
Do you give that assignment in your class?
Not that particular assignment. No. Actually, I never knew about that assignment.
Yeah.
But I do have people create characters from silhouette.
Okay, this is actually kind of interesting. I have to see this.
Sure.
Taking a look at your portfolio, and it's a concept art portfolio. Let's see.
So just letting y'all know that if you want to get started, we do have an anime art school program. This is basically if you want to draw like an anime style, but also learn the fundamentals and, you know, to create your own stories. We created it just for you guys, and it's 20% off with the code LOVE. And we are doing a thing where if you do get it with the discount, you get a watercolor sent to you, which is of your character. So that's the promotion that we're doing. You will learn a lot of stuff. You'll learn a lot of stuff like anatomy, which is what we've been talking about here.
Wooden pickle games. I'm
Ooh.
looking at your stuff.
That's fun. So this is the stuff that you'll learn. Anatomy, the things that you need to learn for character art, for example, how to paint the figure, how to draw the figure from scratch. So these are just some demos from the anime art school. Here's how to paint it. Here's how to color it. Colton teaches a really good section on perspective as well for your backgrounds.
Yeah.
And this is just an overall foundation school with an anime twist. So if that interests you, you can check it out on our link in bio or drawanime.com. Let me just find some backgrounds. These are the background finals for that perspective class. And he also teaches on rendering. So you can check it out with the discount LOVE. That's for 20% off.
So Wooden Pickle Games. Are you still here? Doing anime art school homework now. It's absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, I'm in the middle of adding a bunch of paintings to my painting class, trying to cover as many moods as possible. Still here? Sounds good. Here, I'll pull this up. You in the Discord server have probably already seen this. But I've been working on a little bit of different types of mood sketching. This is obviously like really rough still, but I kind of like the mood of this, you know. I did 3 different moods for this environment. This one took, I don't know, maybe about 20 minutes. And I kind of like it. So we're doing like bandit raid. Well, there's going to be 3 versions of this environment, right? And so number 1 is going to be, did I send it to you? Oh, here it is. Number 1, sunny outdoor environment, cheerful festival day. Number 2 is the night after the festival and everybody's in bed, snuggled up. And then number 3 is midnight bandit raid. They burn down the whole village. Rip. So, you know, F's in the chat for whoever lives in this village. Unfortunately, spoiler, they all die. Or a lot of them die, probably. I was playing Baldur's Gate recently, right? So we're going to be doing that, like how to explore these moods. I'm really, really excited about it. We're going to do some really try hard work. Anyways, here's Christina's drawings and stuff. How do you approach making backgrounds? Well, I mean, you definitely want an understanding of like perspective. Like you need to be able to draw objects and stuff in perspective, but backgrounds are much more about like abstraction and composition than people realize. It's about directing people's attention. Like where do you want people to look? And then you have various tools to do that. Most of them involving contrast, right? Like contrast of color, contrast of shape, contrast of value. So if I want you to look here, I'm gonna have contrast here. And if I want you to look here, I'm gonna have contrast here. And your attention is gonna be divided, or hopefully not divided, but like pulled through the image in a designed out way. For example, in this one, you've got a lot of different areas of contrast, right? The main area for me in my mind was like right here. That's where I want the viewer to look between. Like you're gonna look up here, you're gonna look right here, you're gonna try to like kind of like go over here, you're gonna look at this, you're gonna come back around and kind of skim, oh, there's a church back here and it looks like it's on fire, and no. You know what I mean? But like also the perspective works out. Like here's the bridge, here's a river, here's the building, right? Here's another building in the background. Here's a foreground element. Like your brain recognizes what's going on, and then you're kind of pulled around this image by contrast. Backgrounds, much more about that than you would think. Like almost exclusively, it's about like, how do I pull people's attention around? But anyways, there's that. So what are your goals, Max? What are your goals? Like, do you want to be a concept artist? What type of projects do you want to work on? How do you plan your color streams? I start with a couple colors and mix them together, honestly. We'll be doing a color theory stream in not too long, but colors for me don't really matter that much. As long as there is some kind of logic. Because I really need to know about your goals. If you
want to critique
concept art, maybe illustration. So if you want to get into concept, I would cater your portfolio towards one or the other. If you have a portfolio for concept art and also a separate portfolio for illustration, you can do that. But if you're applying for a concept position, only have concept art in there. And I'm talking like, this is a visualization for an environment. This is a visualization for, like, I see you have this post-apocalyptic tank concept illustration, right? Like that would be along the lines of like a concept piece. But then you have, you know, a vector poster Adobe Illustrator. Like that wouldn't be concept art at all. That I would not put in a concept art portfolio. I wouldn't put like illustrations and such in a concept art portfolio. So where's my pen? If you have a concept art portfolio, right? You want to basically have all of your all of your work, right? So when you get hired on concept art, you're going to be hired onto like a video game or something, and you're going to spend like, if you get hired in-house or even freelance, you're going to spend years on this project, right? So concept portfolio. Concept portfolio. Maybe this one could be like an establishing shot, right? This is a general look at an area from maybe far away to establish the environment, right? So,
Alien one.
which one?
That one up there.
This one?
No.
This one?
Yeah.
Here's an establishing shot that I did a couple years ago, right? This is like a larger area to get an idea of where in the world this takes place. You're on a mountain. I see a cactus. I see mountains in the background. There's flaming wreckage down below, and there's trailer. It's like a trailer park, right? You move closer into the trailer park. Here is the wreckage. Here is the damage that was done. I have moved into the shot, and this is like more of like a medium up close shot. Here's a destroyed vehicle. Here's a destroyed trailer. Here's that smoke. Crazy. Here's an extreme close-up. Here is a close-up of one of the places that got hit by the impact. This is what it looks like. There's a bicycle that's been damaged. There's concrete and dirt and a crater and flaming wreckage and purple smoke that you probably don't want to breathe in. Here's like an example of maybe like a sketch.
Like the breakdown.
Yeah, like breakdown. Like this sort of thing. Maybe like a sketch, some supplemental sketches. Like, okay, here was my idea. There's a factory in the background. There's an impact down there. Here's the ground. Mountains in the background, that kind of stuff. This was kind of like my initial drawing. Like that.
The live classes start at 11 a.m., right?
Pacific.
What? Pacific, yes.
California time, yeah.
Yep. And what time would they end?
It depends. They'll go for a couple of hours. So you'll always be able to watch the live recordings. If you have to leave early, we'll still critique your work. You will get the live recording within like 24 hours. However, depending on how long the critiques go, the live record, it could go for 4, maybe even 5 hours. But the actual class part, like the teaching part, would go for less, maybe like 2 or 3 hours, depending on the week. But since it is only a 6-week class and there's a lot to teach, we tend to take the class nice and long. We don't want to be like
stingy.
Oh, time's up. Gotta go.
Man.
Well,
no, we want to try to give as much as possible.
With our time, right?
Yeah. If you're interested in the live class, you can go check it out on our website. It's going to be the teal button.
So anyways, like, this would be along the lines of what you'd find in a concept portfolio, right? It's like maybe some sequential shots. You'd find like props. Like you could take this truck and where was that? What was it from? Gears.
Is there a fee for the live class? Yes. If you
go
to our bio, or the website is drawanime.com, it is going to be the teal button labeled figure drawing and anatomy live class in February. So you can check that out there, how much it is. It's $500 for 6 weeks.
I'm trying to look for some art that I found a long time ago from Gears of War because I think it had really good examples for concept art portfolio goals if you want to get hired.
Do you just join and ask questions about anime? Not for this class. Not for the live class.
No, the live class is like, it's like a structured class on figure drawing. So you learn proportions, the teacher does a lesson, you get homework, and then you turn in that homework and the teacher critiques it the next week after their next lesson. It's like if you were to attend like a college class or something.
Mm-hmm. And you can definitely ask questions and we'll answer them. It just won't be like, it's going to be about a specific subject though, like figure drawing and anatomy.
Yes, it is a specific class on that. Let me go to...
Yeah, I'm not sure what Ohio time is, GeoRig, but if you can't make it, just make sure you post your homework because we'll still critique it and you can always rewatch
I mean, if you're in the States, it'll be around the middle of the day probably. Mm-hmm. What time zone is Ohio in? Only in Ohio, I guess.
My site has a figure drawing section. What are your thoughts?
Why?
Wooden Pickle Games mentioned it.
Our station is so slow these days, dude. Design. I have a collection. Teach ref. Design. Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up some different design stuff. If you want to get hired in concept art, I'm gonna tell you a couple things. Number one, super competitive these days. Number two, the skill, like the barrier to entry is really, really high. But you can still absolutely get hired. You just have to be pretty good. I don't know what kind of stuff the schools are pushing out these days that teach concept art. But it is a design job. It's art. It's designer first, artist second. Like, you are solving problems for the person down the line, right? I can't really find a lot of it.
So 11. Hold on 1 second.
It's currently 10 p.m. So it'd be 2 hours to 1 p.m. It'd probably start for you. Wait. What time's our class start? 10 a.m. Pacific?
I thought it was 11. Oh.
Pacific.
I'll put
10 Pacific?
Okay.
I don't remember exactly. What does the site say? Is it 10 a.m. Pacific, chat?
Let me look.
Like, concept art it's a functional job that is meant to make the next person's life easier, right?
11
You are
Pacific.
11 Pacific. Okay, so 12. It start at 1 p.m. for you. I would basically say, with your portfolio, I would remove everything that's illustration if you want to get hired as a concept artist. I would separate your portfolios, because what a lot of art directors will think is they'll think this person doesn't have enough work to even fill a portfolio. That's what art directors are concerned about. And they all, like, when an art director looks at your work, they're going, is this guy or girl able to design in a way that helps the production of the game, right? Concept art is a pre-production job. We are designing things that are going to be built in 3D and put in the game by someone else. So if it's not buildable, if it has conflicting geometry, if it's not clear, that's a big red flag as well. Artwork that's very all over the place, like, oh, I've got a weird creature that I did. Oh, here's like a truck thing that I did. And oh, here's like a drawing of like a spider. It doesn't
reflect what you're going to be paid to do.
Exactly. It's not like a concept art portfolio is literally just a pretend job that you did, essentially. It's like you're simulating. If I were to work on a video game or project, here is proof that I'm able to handle this kind of work. I would really recommend watching Feng Zhu on YouTube. He has a good channel called FZD School. I actually went to that school back in 2015 and 16, and he has a lot of good videos like what is concept art, what is a good concept art portfolio. He gives a lot of examples and stuff. I would look into that, but I wouldn't worry about like having a figure drawing section on your website. I can look at your figure drawings, but yeah, I mean, they're not too bad.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Yeah, I would say also, if you want to get into concept art, depending on what you want to do, I would definitely learn some 3D like Blender.
Concept art heavily uses photo bashing? No.
Some studios, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna work at like Ubisoft, you know, anything like Activision, not Blizzard. I guess they bought Blizzard, didn't they? Like Treyarch, Crytek. Yeah, a lot of the AAA games use photo bashing in 3D a lot. That's like one of the main things that they do. But there's a lot of studios that don't. A lot of mobile games don't. Anything really stylized, League of Legends, Blizzard, World of Warcraft, they don't use photo bashing really. They draw and paint and stuff. Like,
just depends on the studio then.
Yeah, it 100% depends on the studio and the style. Like, not all games look the same at all.
So some people will make portfolios specifically for a specific studio. Like they'll make it like a Riot portfolio or whatever.
Yeah, and like to me right now, it looks like the work on your website is all over the place. I would focus on one specifically, work really, really hard to make it as good as possible, because like you're not going to get hired for a, like they're not going to look at your work and look at like game assets to consider hiring you for a concept position. Like that would be the environment artist job, right? It's like I would go specific into the industry that you want to do, get really, really good at it, and then apply with that specific portfolio, because they just don't care like if you can do a lot of other like doodads and things here and there. Because like maybe if you're working for like an indie studio and you're like, but then again, like if they're looking for someone with like that broad of a skill set, they're probably not going to pay you very much anyways, if anything. But like an art director will be able to tell if you know what you're doing in 2 seconds. Like it's a very quick process. Like this person's a pro or this person's not a pro. And I mean like pro level skills, not necessarily like have work experience. Like it's pretty clear quickly when a student has like hireable work versus non-hireable work. If you've never tried to draw environmental art, how would you start? Probably doing studies, plein airs, still lifes. I would really recommend looking into Edgar Payne's Composition of Outdoor Painting. That's a really good book. It has a lot of great resources on that, specifically the pages that have that might be in a drawer behind our box. Specifically the pages with this kind of stuff. This is like pretty fundamental to composition if you want to get into doing environmental work. Like compositions and environments and any illustration for that matter work off of simple they're like drawing people. They have gesture, they have structure. These are a list of some very effective structures. This is from Edgar Payne's book Composition of Outdoor Painting. You can find this online. It's an old book and most of the pages are just text, but these are like the only pages that have like some of the only
Didn't you
pages that
organize
have
this?
like yes.
Oh, okay.
Some of the only pages that have images. But like if you want to start doing environments, background, stuff like that, understand that environments and backgrounds fundamentally work the same as like character drawing. They have underlying structures to their organization. And this is a really good starting point. Like
you can just choose which one.
You are creating a gesture or structure that the logic of the image flows. Like this is a really, really clear one, right? It is a diagonal line. And guess what? They've organized all of their information along that kind of diagonal, right? Or it's a tunnel. It's a tunnel. It's a tunnel, right? It's like your brain needs this very simple concept to latch onto. Now, there can be a lot of details, but the underlying structure, right? Some people refer to it as an armature, is super important, right?
The L.
It's an L. It's an L.
L.
It's an L, but backwards, right? Like, if you want to get started doing backgrounds, I would focus a lot on, like, simple structures that you can build an artwork based on.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, one of my pieces, for example, has a really, really clear structure that I use as an example a lot. A lot of regulars have seen this before. This piece. The underlying structure of this piece is that. It is literally just diagonals. And then I just have something for you to look at right here. And I'm using foreground, midground, background, super clear. F, M, B. Foreground is where your camera is. Where is the viewer? Where am I looking from? Midground is generally the subject matter and like something interesting to look at. And I've placed this very close to this, so you don't have to look far between them. And background, the midground, right, is like foreground is me and you. The midground is my subject. And the background is the context of the world. That's very, very simple setup. You don't really need more complicated than this. People will play with these ideas a lot and sort of mix things up. But, right, if this foreground was the deck of an airship, we would be in a different place. Like, the viewer would be in a different place, right? If this midground was a volcano, the image would be about something different, right? If this background had a jungle, or it was an alien world, or you saw like planets in the sky, right? Like, imagine that the background looked like this, right? It would be so different. This would be such a different piece, right? Here's your background. Oh, now it's like I'm in a different place. I'm in a fantasy or sci-fi environment, you know? So that's like a structure that you can use pretty easily. Heck, if there was a person back there, like a giant, right? Like that'd be kind of crazy.
That'd
like,
be crazy. No, that'd be scary.
Like a whatever.
Cyclops, I don't know.
Right, that would be crazy. Like this would be a very different image if there was a giant back there.
Regarding concept art, what important truth do very few people agree with you on?
Agree with me on?
I don't know, actually.
I don't know. Most, like, concept art is a pretty straightforward job. It's a design job. I don't know. Very few people? Are those people who actually know about concept art, or are they just like randos? If you were to like ask them on the street, most people have never even heard of concept art. Like if I were to ask, I don't know, like my aunt or something.
That's fun. I like that. 3 moons, 3 planets. Yeah. Is the best way to study environment to look at photos and understand what forms and shapes you see?
Not necessarily. Not really sure what you mean exactly.
I mean, you can definitely try that to break it down, to like see examples and stuff of what kinds of environments there are, like professional concept artists. I don't know. I feel like a lot of concept artists would agree with each other on a lot of things because they work in the similar industry.
There's the robot.
I love the robot.
I was drawing earlier, inspired by a sexy Tin Man. I have no idea, dude.
Thank you, Yurei. I think, like, I mean, photos don't necessarily have elements of a good environment, because like a photo could just be like extremely random. Like someone can just take a picture of like a mountain scene but like not know how to compositionally make it feel good. I think you can try looking at examples of how other artists do environments and break it down, like how do they approach it.
Like professional concept artists? I don't know. I mean, concept artists are just people that do a job. Like, I'm sure people have all different kinds of opinions on stuff. I have no idea. I haven't talked to other concept artists in a while, other than maybe some of my friends who do it. For movies, manga, comics, the purpose of concept art is a visual guide, so you will be consistent in following certain design, especially in visual storytelling. I mean, it's just so versatile. Like, I mean, concept art is literally what it says. It's like, it is a concept and it's an artwork. So it's like, it's generally used as either a guide or a reference or a starting point for maybe something else. It's the difference between concept art and illustration is that concept art is like a tool that's used for down the line, and illustration, the value is in the drawing itself. Like, if concept art gets destroyed, it doesn't matter. If an illustration gets destroyed, the value is lost. Like, if you were to burn the Mona Lisa or something, like, the value would be gone. But, like, the person who drew the first iPhone, once the iPhone is built, it doesn't really matter if the drawing is destroyed. It's like,
because it's out, product's out.
Yeah, it's like a tool for down the line. It's like it's idea. It's something that's like being used for something else generally. But illustration is like the value is in the image. Like, it is meant to be consumed by the consumer. Concept art, like most concept art, never sees the light of day. It's all non-disclosure, right? It's all NDA. Almost nothing that I've made, some stuff, but most things I've made as a concept artist, they'll never see the light of day. It was simply used to make other parts of the game or project or whatever.
What's the difference between an illustrator and a painter?
I figure a painter is an illustrator that... I should just say a painter's probably someone who paints. Like, if I were to take a wild guess. Or illustration versus painting. I mean, I think painting refers to paint being put on a canvas of some sort.
Do you mean like fine art painting? Because, I mean, I don't know. Most paintings are illustrations.
Yeah, you could paint concept art though. Like, I think
that's true.
it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy for it, but nothing's really coming to mind.
I'll try building a person out of a cone as well.
I think they're probably two different. It's like, I don't know, the difference between... What would be a good analogy for that? I'm thinking like, what's the difference between like a wrench and a mechanic or something? Or like, you know, it's like painting is, I don't know, a verb. Like, it's you're painting, right? A painter paints.
It's an action.
But like, what you're painting could be anything. It could be an illustration. It could be concept art. It could be the walls of your house. Like, so, would the inside of your house, if you paint it green, would that be considered illustration? Maybe.
Fine art painting versus illustration. What's the difference between them? For example, a cover of a magazine, is it an illustration or a painting? The cover of a magazine can be done multiple ways.
That would probably be an illustration. I mean, it's meant to be consumed. I don't tend to think about it too much, honestly. Yeah. But like, if it's meant to be consumed by the viewer, then it's illustration. But you can also have concept art that looks so cool you turn it into an illustration. Like, it gets turned into something people consume. But a painter paints.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really thought about it. I probably won't ever think about it again.
I think I'll maybe make this torso a little bit smaller. May I draw with you guys?
Well, you can draw right now, for sure.
So glad I found y'all's TikTok. Thank you. Very sweet.
Let me think of my little cluster.
I love your cluster of background. I don't know. Cluster of planets. It's so aesthetic. I love that cool, warm.
Cool, warm?
Sorry, warm, cool. Sorry.
Warm, cool?
Warm, cool. Oh, brother, I
what
don't
are you
know.
Saying, dude?
The warm and cool dynamic.
Yeah.
Am I being a crazy?
No, I just thought it was funny how you said, I love that cool, warm.
I was gonna say cool, warm dynamic, but I didn't never finished.
It's funny.
If someone is passionate about making beautiful images, should they study painting, illustration, or concept art? Like this beautiful painting from the Art of Movies books.
Most of the art in Art of books has been taken and finished more than in the actual, like,
It's been doctored up.
it's been doctored up to make it look presentable for a book. Yes. And I'm not kidding. Like, art of books are not a good representation of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis in concept art. A lot of concept art is very rough. It's purely to get the ball rolling on certain things. Like, what could this look like? What does this door look like? How does this work? What is the, it's like even literally pen sketches and like on like a napkin a lot of the time. They're referred to like napkin sketches.
It's kind of ugly. I don't know. But it's practical. It's like utilitarian in a way.
Where was that question? There's someone, oh, there, beautiful images. If you're passionate about making beautiful images, I would just say make beautiful images. Like, make what you, and people find different things beautiful. So like I could say this is how you make beautiful images, but you may not think it's, like, you may have a different opinion on what you find beautiful.
Here's my cone person. Sort of cone.
That's fun.
What pencil are you using? This is an Apple Pencil Pro. And what is a recommendation size of canvas? I don't know. I generally work in a 5,000 by 6,000 pixel canvas. That's pretty good.
I wouldn't recommend that if you're doing pixel art.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's, I don't know, it's like recommendation for what?
Oh, if you mean the digital brush, you can get it on our website, drawanime.com.
How was the experience studying at FZD? It was good. My class was the last class to get Fang the whole year. After that, he started stepping out and working on it in a different place. He was doing like movie production or something in China. But we had him the whole year. It was good. It was good. It was super rigorous. You know, it was like 16 hours a day of practice. It was brutally effective, but as with other things that are that much work, it doesn't solve all your problems. It certainly can lead to certain bad habits and toxic mentalities, which is, I would say, probably unavoidable. If you're going to try to get to a professional level in 1 year, you're generally going to have to make certain sacrifices, like having a life or your mental health, which everybody knows when they sign up for the school that they're signing up for a year of boot camp. I think a lot of people expected too much out of the school. Like, they were sold on it, and their brains, I don't think Fang oversold it. I think their brains oversold it, thinking it was going to be like
The fantasy.
the fantasy. I'm going to go from a beginner to a rock star in 1 year because someone else did one time. A lot of my classmates are insanely good these days. They've been working for 10 years now. Some people quit because they couldn't get hired out of school and they never really went back. Other people, like, I mean, one of my best friends in FZD was like one of the main artists on World of Warcraft for like years. He uploaded a ton of stuff on his ArtStation that got released from it. So, like, it was good. I liked it. What are the differences between FZD and Art Center? Well, FZD was a trade school that's 1 year long, and it's geared towards taking you and giving you the skills as much as possible to become a concept artist. And it's basically an industrial design. It's basically an industrial design boot camp, but focused on doing concept art and entertainment design. Art Center is just college. They have a bunch of different tracks. They got film, they got industrial design, they've got fashion design, transportation design. So, I mean, I'm guessing you're referring to entertainment design at Art Center, which is probably the closest comparison. In which case, it's good. It's fine. It's a super stinking expensive school. It's like $250,000 to go for 4 years if you have no scholarship. It's pretty effective. You have a lot more time. You have a lot more time to develop your skills because it's 4 years instead of 1. There was no figure drawing class in FZD. It was like pretty much the whole school focused on form and dimensional drawing, like mostly dimensional drawing, like objects, environments. We didn't learn very much about painting in FZD. It was like a boot camp for industrial design, like drawing in perspective.
You didn't use 3D back then, did you? Oh, you did a bit.
I did use 3D in FZD. My term was like one of the first that kind of relied on it a little bit more. After my term, people went crazy with the 3D. But before my term, it was almost like taboo. It was weird. I think touching grass and having a social life are on the top list of challenges and sacrifice an artist would have to face. Yeah, it's like definitely. But a lot of people are willing to make the sacrifice, right? Like, it's tough. There's some jobs out there that are so competitive. Of someone else, if you want like a healthy work-life balance, someone else is willing to not have one, and like they're the one who's gonna get the job. Like, it's not fair how it works, right? Like, there is someone out there who wants to work at Blizzard so bad they're willing to sacrifice time with their friends and family and their health in order to get there. And if you don't, then they're probably going to be the one who gets the job. Like, it's just how it is. Like, it's like the Olympics, right? There is someone else out there who is willing to train more. Almost always. It's not like everybody can get the most sought after job if they just spend 15 minutes a day.
It's definitely like a sweat thing.
It is a sweat. There's a lot of sweats. I don't like that it's that way, but it is.
But it's like kind of with the quality of the work that you have to get in nowadays, it's like you kind of have to be.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying I agree or wish it was this way. I'm just saying this is the way it is. Like my friend who got hired at Blizzard was doing like 12-hour days for like 5 years straight. He had a large amount of money saved up. He made really smart investments, and he was in his 30s when he started the grind, and he took every mentorship and class he could get his hands on. He was a major sweat, and one of the people that I know that works the hardest. And I know very, very, very few people who could outwork and creative learning process him. But I do know a couple people. Like, I know one guy, Nicholas. He got hired, or he did designs for League of Legends. He worked for it for a really long time. It's crazy, though. It's like the Olympics. You just, like, you talk to someone, they literally are just training all the time. Just all the time. Any time of day, you're just like, oh, what are you up to?
Training.
Practicing, doing homework, training. Oh, I got a meeting with XYZ tonight. They're going to critique my work. I'm talking years. Like, you know someone for years, and every single time you talk to them, they are, like, training. They're, like, at the gym.
It's
lifting
no joke.
weights. It's like back when Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing bodybuilding. It's just like 5 hours a day minimum, 6 days a week of exercising and working out. I'm not saying that people should do it. I'm saying they do. They do. I don't recommend it. It's not healthy. IMO movie posters, game art covers, map design feel more sterilized and commercialized now than the 90s era. What contributes to that? I think money and the fact that a lot of multi-billion-dollar corporations build a lot of these games, and they have investors, and they want to make sure that they make money, so they play it very safe. I think in the early days of video games, a lot of people were explorers and trying things just because they thought it was fun. I mean, even look at like early World of Warcraft or something. Like, it was just people having fun, trying things. Now it's like, we have to make money. We have to make investors happy. I think a lot of indie studios still have that spirit.
Which is why they have very unique art and stuff.
With like true creative freedom and exploration. I think honestly, like that, the big dollar sign industry is kind of just cooked. Like, I can't see it end any way good.
What days do you go live? Want to make sure so I don't miss these?
We don't have a daily schedule now. We generally go live at this time.
Yeah, generally this time. I mean, like, basically we try to go every day, but how would one find the art style if they keep finding new artists' work they're inspired by in style? Choose one, study it, move on to the next. I don't know.
It'll develop. Like, you'll be inspired by a bunch of different people in
Yeah.
your lifetime. Just keep working on those fundamentals, draw the things that you enjoy drawing, and you will develop a style based on who you're inspired by and what you draw.
But I wouldn't stress too much about the style. Like, that just comes with time.
You think there will be less artists in the future because of AI? I don't know. Honestly, no idea.
Anything could happen.
I think if there's less artists, it's going to be because the artists choose not to be rather than
Because
the
of
AI
something else.
necessarily. Like, I mean, people can make art whenever they want. Like, AI doesn't prevent people from making art. Like, you know, tractors don't prevent people from going to the gym. I think the professional art industry is definitely going to change. I don't know how exactly, but, like, I mean, if you want to make art, you can make art today. And, like, nothing can really prevent you from doing that other than yourself.
It's kind of risky to follow your artistic freedom versus having someone who can oversee your work and manage.
Risky?
Ooh, do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a streamer like you? That's a fun question.
You want to know how we started streaming? We accidentally hit the live button on TikTok. And a bunch of people ended up showing up, and we did our best. And it was fun, so we went live again. And it was fun, so we went live again. And that's how we did what we do. That's it. Like, we're not streamers. Like, we just
didn't just decide
hit
to
the
become
live button a
streamers.
bunch of times and are trying new things and getting feedback from chat. Hey, did you like this? Hey, did you like that? And we just kind of try a bunch of different stuff. Like, if that's considered a streamer, then if you hit the live button, you're a streamer too. That's about as much of a streamer as I am.
Thank you, Ships.
Yeah, we wanted to. I read a book by Gary Vee, and he talked about just pressing every single button that your social media platform has to test everything. And live streaming was one of those buttons. So we were just like, hey, what if we went live? And then we were going to do a practice stream. But for some reason, a practice stream on TikTok was just a real stream. Like, they're like, oh, and go to practice mode. And I hit practice mode, and all of a sudden it was just like 3, 2, 1, you're live. And I'm like, what? Okay, I guess we're live. So, like, and I don't know, like, it was just,
It's kind
that
of
was weird, like, just this accidental live. Where was that one question? Risky? I don't really know. Practice mode is a scam? 100%. Lau, you should do practice mode.
Do practice mode and then
Try
just start
practice
streaming.
mode, yeah.
Should we talk? Should we ask Chad about the this with the books?
What?
This with
Oh,
the books?
yeah. Well, we do have both of our books on TikTok Shop now, by the way. It
Yeah.
is literally live on TikTok Shop.
These are our two books: How to Draw Manga, Anime Academy, How to Draw Manga, and Anime Academy, How to Draw Characters.
Yes, here they are on our TikTok app. You can see if you go to our profile and you go to that little shopping bag, you can see them here. And you can get them. We mail them out from our house. We actually do not have very many books. We have like 17 copies of book 2 and like 25 copies of book 1. We do not have a lot of inventory right now. We're going to have to order more eventually.
Yep.
But you will notice if you go to the TikTok page and you scroll down, there is a option signed by authors and sketch inside covers. So this is a different version you can buy, and we will sign your copy and do a drawing inside of it before we ship it out. So you can get a version that's signed and has a little drawing in it. It'll be with this pen.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a special version that you can order. And if you get it, we'll just draw on it live on stream, and you can order it, and we'll mail it out, and you'll get it in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool feature, honestly. I mean, it's not a feature; it's just an option that we made, but it's cool that you can do that.
Yeah. And then this version.
Yeah, we were wondering if people would be interested in another option where you could actually get a commission done. Like, I don't know if Tori or Fox or anybody is here. What was the deadline for Secret Admirer? I don't know, like weeks ago. How are you rotating the head end stuff? I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, you mean like this? Wait, this isn't right. Like this?
It's just the transform tool.
Yep.
It's just like making a selection and transforming it.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a digital copy of Book Volume 1 on Amazon. It's a Kindle version. Yes, that. It's just a selection and transform. She's just rotating it.
Mm-hmm. So the commission...
It's Procreate, though.
The commission option would be like adding one of these in.
Oh, the finished drawing deadline? Oh, it's all posted in the Discord in that announcements channel. There's screenshots for every date. You can go find it in there. Secret Admirer announcement, and all of the deadlines. It says important dates. You can read that image. Application form, targets are sent out, Secret Admirer reveal. You have 24 days to work on it. Basically, the time of the stream is when the submissions close. So we'll be live, and you'll still be able to submit. It'll close before the show. How do we join the Discord? Here. You can go to the linky on our profile, or that link right there.
Drawing June is very satisfying. She's rotating the head and doing exactly what you were doing. She used lines and drew guides, then rotated parts, erased things, etc. I don't know. I think it's just like you just edit as you go. I think the commission idea is cool. I would definitely get one. How much do you think the pricing it is for?
Probably like $200.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be a traditional commission done in watercolor on stream, and it would get mailed to you.
And we're doing of their characters?
Probably.
Yeah. Because it's like a little commission after all.
But we don't have that set up. I don't even know exactly how we would set it up and everything.
Yeah. We'll have to see. But that's like, we're just kind of asking like what you guys would think about it.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, changed number one fan. We don't do requests on stream like that.
How can I improve my character interactions? I find it difficult to draw two characters interacting.
Funny enough, we do teach that in book 2.
Yeah, we do.
We talk about that a lot.
I'm kind of trying to think about a fun way to talk about it. We have, so like, with two characters interacting with each other, you can layer characters a specific way, but think about, like, who's acting, and who's reacting. And it also kind of has to do with like composition and stuff. So like we have a few examples in here. What are the overlaps and all that stuff? Let me just go find it. So like, here's an example of these two characters interacting. The story is Candy, who's like super spoiled and is his bully, demands a present from him. And she's like, okay, well, where's my present? He's like, actually, it's here, but it's broken and I don't want to show it to you. So, like, in order, what I thought about was I wanted this to be full body. I wanted the action of each pose to kind of mimic their personality. So, like, she's sitting in, like, a very queen-like position. Legs crossed. You know, she's got, like, her hand on her neck. On her, yeah, exactly. Boss girl. She's got her hand on her chin. And she's not looking directly at him because she's like, well, it takes too much effort to look at you, so I'm just gonna side eye you. And he's like, he's wimpier, so he has like a more curved pose. He's like not standing straight, he's just kind of like hunched over, and he has something on his back. He's stepping over a little bit. So like think about that. That's like some things that you can think about when it comes to interactions. Oh, sorry. Would you do a bundle plus commission plus courses? Actually, we used to kind of do that with their anime art school books.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, we did that.
Well, we have the watercolor thing available right now, remember? We were saying if you get anime art school now, you will get a watercolor of your character. But it doesn't include books.
No. It doesn't include books because we only have a limited supply.
Yeah, we have a really, really limited supply of books. So that was on the last stream. If you get our anime art school, you can get a watercolor drawing of your character
With
as
this 20%
included
off.
as part of it.
Yeah.
We mentioned that on our last stream. We haven't really talked about it this stream at all because we've been distracted.
I think I mentioned it a few times, but
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One or two times, I think. I would use panels like how to. So, I would say go look at manga with multiple characters in it, with interactions. And literally just like, okay, character A is here. This is like an over-the-shoulder shot. This is a very common shot. Character B is here. And show how they overlap. This, when it's like an over-the-shoulder shot like this is to show foreground, and this is to show like the action of character B. And then what you can do is if they're continuing this conversation and you want it to kind of go smoothly, you can just kind of like reverse it. I mean, that's an option, but like I would look at your favorite manga panels that include interactions like this and study them.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, we wouldn't use panels on it because that's not the purpose of this section of the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the purpose of this section of the book was to teach how to draw a single image with characters interacting.
Yeah.
If you used panels, it wouldn't be a single image anymore.
Exactly.
This book does not teach paneling. It teaches like multi-character images where there's more than one character in a single frame.
Here's another one. Like, yes, can you crop this to a panel? Yeah. But like this is just the purpose of this is to just do the full image. But here's like these two are bickering and he's just in the middle, like in the background, just like, can you move please? You know? But like that's what I think about. I think about what's in the foreground, who's overlapping what. So like I kind of like staged these two in the foreground, this in the background, so I color coded that. And then who's the one that's acting, who's the one reacting? She's the one acting, she's the one reacting, and he's also reacting to the whole situation. But like interaction is based on the psychology as well. How do you apply perspective grids to mannequin drawings? Do you mean like a mannequin, like a basic person form? The perspective grid is just like your space. So like if I were to like draw someone that I'm looking down at, and this is like my general perspective, you can imply the grid by drawing the floor like this and turn it into a grid. So like here's a grid. And make sure your feet are planted on this grid to make it feel more convincing. And then you can kind of just like, you can also encapsulate this person into a box, and that box is your grid. So like maybe this is my box, and these are all my perspective grids. Or all my perspective lines. So I just kind of cannibalize it, I guess. Now this isn't like a very accurate box, so I wouldn't do it like this, but I would need to fix it. But like you can start there. Just redraw it. That's a fun one. Finished your homework? Nice, Dahlia.
Very nice. I'm really happy with this painting class in our anime art school.
That's great.
It's, I don't know, may I be so bold, but I think it's definitely one of the best painting classes that I would have ever taken if I took it.
Oh, well, that's great.
There's so much good stuff in it. Yeah. Definitely better than the one I took in FZD. But that's not saying much. The painting class in FZD was kind of mid.
Rip. Well, but like, it's by a professional artist. Not every professional artist can teach well.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Like if I have a box like this, I can just extract the grid from this because it's already giving me all the answers. Extend all the lines. Add more lines that match the grid. And you could put a person in it, and you could decide like, oh, I want my person to be this tall. And if I'm looking down at this person, I would see a lot of the top side of stuff, like top of their head, top of their torso, top of their shoulders. I wouldn't, unless the character is like bending back, I wouldn't usually see the bottom of their ribcage like this. Unless they're like moving outside of the grid. So like in this perspective, I think that if I want my character to be this tall, things are going to have to get short pretty fast because this is where my feet are. So things are going to have to like shrink. Pew. And then you just kind of check, does this feel proportional to your perspective? You know, you can kind of double check by drawing kind of like a little plane. Like this, and then dividing this in half. That's not right. So like the halfway point of this plane is here, but I put my pelvis a little bit lower, but it's like roughly not too bad. So like you can check your proportions there as well.
I mean, your plane is in the middle. The pelvis would stick out, like the front of the cylinder would stick out further, so you did get it right.
Oh, okay, well that's good.
Oh,
that's good.
I mean, this bulges out.
Yeah,
it's a cylinder.
That is true.
Cylinder.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, I guess I did get it right then. But you can check like this as well. And then, as we talked about earlier with proportions, I know that my hand is not going to be down here. It's not going to be up here unless I make him bend his arm up. So if his arm is just resting, it's going to end at around this point. So like relational or like a relative proportion. It's like you're not always just calculating proportion as if it was in a completely front view. You're also calculating proportion in perspective as well. So I can use this to draw the characters and for measurements, or create a layer for drawing this, then another, and erase the measurement layer. Yeah, like I would do it separately. I have a separate layer for the measurement right here, just because it's like non-destructive and I don't want to make my drawing too messy. I would have drawn a chair. I think a chair is about this tall, so like about their thigh. And I just follow the perspective for the chair as well. Don't look right though. Got a cute little chair, student chair that kind of like maybe bends back a bit. Maybe a window. Bye, Dahlia. Bye, MJ. Oh, that's fun. What is that? That's cool. Oh, it's carrying purse. I really like the way how you make your lines. It's so like... You just use like one stroke, and the shape of the stroke looks really good. I need to try that.
Thank you. I don't know.
I feel like June would be the type of character to like be very skilled and get voted to be student council president, but she thinks it's just too much effort, so she just doesn't do it. How do you
rather play video games?
Yeah. How do you choose how to design your OBS streaming screen and layout?
I just throw stuff up and see what doesn't break it, and if something breaks it, struggle for 2 months to figure out what's breaking it.
There was a time where we were like, man, why is things like glitching in the screen? And it just so happens that we had a very specific problem based on a very specific layout
That nobody on Reddit ever had.
Yeah.
So I had to figure it out myself, and I was so annoyed about it, dude, for so long.
Yeah, it was really annoying.
But none of you will ever encounter that problem in your entire life, so there's no point in even talking about it. But I don't know. We don't just really design it any
We just
specific
kind of
way.
We just throw together what is most logical to us, and then if it works, we keep it. Is Avatar: The Last Airbender an anime? Nah.
I don't think the creators consider it one. I think one of the creators called it a love letter to anime. But it's been a couple of years, so don't quote me on that. Regardless, I think it has a much better story than a lot of anime out there.
Yeah.
It was definitely a masterpiece.
I think a lot of American shows really focus on like dialogue and just like funny jokes, and also really good plot as well, but like just something that they think about for those kind of animated shows. That's fun. BRB. I guess, yeah, anime did come from the word just animation. It's just shortened. One of the things that always surprises me is how much the head overlaps over the body, especially when they're like bending over. Like you'll just get like this. It feels weird, but when you actually overlap the head a lot, it feels natural. It's like we don't realize how much it can overlap. Is Blue Eyed Samurai Japanese anime? I never watched it, so I don't know. I always thought that it was actually made in the States or something, because I've only known like seen the English version, but I don't know. I have no clue. That's a fun character. This head here. There we go. Here's the nose. I'm ready to wrap up.
Yeah. What kind of advice should you give to someone who wants to draw on stream like you, but they're an individual, so there couldn't be any dialogue on stream like between you two? I honestly don't really know. I mean, you talk to chat. I would say look at what other streamers are doing who are individuals.
Yeah. Like they treat chat as like a dialogue companion.
I mean, in the beginning, you'll have no chat probably.
Yeah.
Unless you stream on TikTok and you're pretty entertaining. I don't know. I wouldn't really be able to say.
Yeah.
I've never done it. So I'm not entirely sure.
I wouldn't know what I would do if I didn't have Colton streaming with me. I think it's like it's kind of hard sometimes making chat be engaged in the conversation sometimes. Just because, like, you know, people are just doing their own thing and stuff, and you're like, yeah, you kind of have to make it an event. Like, if you look at like Queso streams or even like Doug streams, like they're very involved with chat.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm making, dude.
A fun character. Kind of gives me like Disney vibes.
What about that one?
I like it. What are they doing? Oh, are they on a desk laying and that's fun.
On a desk? I mean, does that look like a desk?
Oh, that was like a side view of a desk. Never mind, that's a bar. Oops. I like it.
I have no idea what it is. I just made it up.
Oh, you didn't need to erase that.
Whatever, I won't erase it then. All right, I'm ready to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. We barely talked about what we wanted to talk about at all today.
I thought we did talk about a good amount.
A little bit. A little bit.
We didn't talk enough about poses, was it?
Oh, I'm distracted with concept art and all kinds of random questions. I'm glad that you enjoyed it though.
Yes. I thought the concept art part was a fun.
Thanks, stupid Photoshop, for being an idiot. Worthless program. There we go. Blue, 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 blue. Just suddenly does not want to draw for some reason.
Do you have a manga? We want to make one. Not yet, though. We just want to make a comic sometime.
This is a very similar exercise to
Two.
the stuffed animal thing. I was trying to remember what it was called.
Yeah. I dread I can't afford the painting class. Painting class?
I don't know what that is.
We don't have a... I mean, we have a painting class in our anime art school, but what painting class are you talking about? That's what I feel like.
Yeah, you want to see the dumb things that I've been working on this.
That's fun.
Why is that there?
The one Colton mentioned not too long ago.
Oh yeah, that's in our anime art school.
Oh yeah. Well, we do have a sale going on with it,
Yep.
so that's still an option.
It's 20% off.
Mm-hmm. With the code LOVE.
And then there's this weirdness. I liked Walter Tulp's dimensional drawing class. He really did a good job with it. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. He was like, right, you can just start with like a really broad shape, maybe like that. Can turn it into a head.
Does one need a college degree to get a job doing art?
No.
Nope. I don't know if if that changes for foreigners. Like,
To get a job doing art? I mean, no.
I don't think so.
Like, I don't know. I mean, you may need a college degree to move to another country or raise your chances of getting in. But I mean, if someone's willing to pay you for a drawing, they're willing to pay you for a drawing. It depends on exactly what industry you're going into, but generally it's a skill-based industry, like a portfolio-based industry. You know? I'll keep that. I don't know why I continue to draw like this, even though it takes so many undos.
No, I've not read those. I don't really read comics that much these days. I read mostly manga, but even then I haven't been reading as much because I get really obsessed. We have some comics, but I think the last comic that I read was the Daughter of Wonder Woman, which was actually quite nice, quite cute. I always have trouble placing the head, even though it seems so obvious. It's always never in the proper place, size, and perspective.
Well, it seems obvious, but it's not actually easy.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't stress yourself out too much about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy.
It's very finicky.
And you're very used to seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Is it better to be independent as an artist or be hired by a company like Disney?
100% up to you.
Depends on what lifestyle you want.
Depends on your willingness, your level of risk, your level of freedom that you want. It's so up to you.
I have a stupid canker sore.
Do you?
Yeah.
For what?
I bit my cheek like 2 days ago. Like really hard.
That's horrible. I didn't know that.
Well, it was like a hard bite, but it wasn't like exactly painful, and I didn't know if it was going to turn to a canker sore or not, but now I have it. And it's kind of in a awkward spot to put the medicine on, but I'll put one on tonight.
That's a Toby.
I thought that was a Poppy.
Nope, that's Toby.
Oh, it is Toby.
Toby,
He sniffs.
he does this specific thing where he kind of like half licks. I don't even know.
I like this Incredibles proportion.
I have no idea. I'm just drawing whatever.
Is 3D animation superior to traditional 2D animation? I don't know. Completely up to you as well.
100% up to you.
Everything's all up to you.
These are all very like subjective things. Like, is this better than that? It's like, is a burger better than pizza? I mean, we probably know Lau's answer. Dang, I could go for a burger, dude. What time is it? 9:20. Crap,
Oh crap! It's already 9:20, bro. It just depends on like the story that you want. You know, if it's better being in 3D, then do it in 3D. If it's better in 2D, then, you know, do that. But I don't think there's like anything that's better or worse about something. There's people who have preferences for that kind of stuff, for either one. So if we went to Five Guys tonight, how long would it take for us to get there? Or is it just too late?
I don't know. All right, chat. Have a good night. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and showing up. I need to play this. It's not there. What is it? Sounds. Where is this? This Stream Deck is really small for how much stuff we have on it, but we only use like one thing, so I probably should just move stuff around. All right. Good night, everybody. What file am I on? Oh, I'm on this one.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye, YouTube.
See ya.